sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip as pulled you into me. When I let you go, it just pulled you closer. It's a long departure.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Winter Royale right now. It is Overwatch. It's going to be a great matchup. This game is about to start here. We have a great matchup. How are you looking so far? What do you think about the team comp so far, Chunk?
Defend objective A.
Sounds good. All right. Looking at Reinhardt with a Zarya combo. A lot of energy. Tons of damage coming from the Ana and the Hanzo on the defending side. We'll see if they can keep up the momentum. It's going to be an aggressive play. Reinhardt is breaking the shield. Can they keep up against the onslaught? Immortality is already down. They have a great pick right now. Hanzo seems a little bit of health here. If they can manage to keep this up, this will be all down. The main shield guillotine has fallen. This is going to be an absolute clap if they can push up right now. Ana has followed along with Hanzo. That's going to be a great first cap on this point if they can just capitalize on the situation with the Lucio speed boops. Cleaning that up, it's going to be a great rundown so far.
First person, got it.
All right, pop it over to Zarya right now. Can Zarya keep up that 81 energy, absolute DPS? When the Zarya gets charged, that is everybody's worst nightmare. 5-player kill streak. The Graviton is out, and the follow-up is there. You love to see it. You hate to see it, depending on where you stand at right now. It is going to be a great game. And it's only the first one, the first fight of many. These players, you guys do not know, are being talent scouted right now. The coaches are watching, trying to figure out who they want to have as their players on the team. So day one is very imperative that these players show up, play their best, so that the coaches will decide who they want to have going into these next days, tomorrow, and the finals that'll be on Friday. Building up right now. May already at 85% on that Blizzard. It's going to be a point clear. Guillotine. You know, right now he's holding up the shield, but is that really the best move for him? If he gets walled off on this bridge, that'll be an absolute onslaught. Losing the dragons have been popped. They're behind him. May sees it. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up this momentum, though. Again, Blizzard is ready for health. Iceberg is ready. I would be ahead and popping it out. The Blizzard has been thrown. Reinhardt taking her down. She should have used her Iceberg, gotten back that health there. But baby, man, you love to see McCurry getting 4 kills, a quadra kill. Love to see it. And Chuck, what are your predictions here going forward?
Well, I'm just getting into this here, getting things pulled up on my computer, but I'm expecting to see a lot of good Overwatch today. I know Fractured Esports, and I know this community has a lot of talented players in it. I'm very excited to see what each and every player who did sign up for this Winter Classic can bring. We have, obviously, the 2-2-2 lock on in this tournament, so I'm expecting to see a lot of really good tank play from both sides in every match today, with tanks being so dominant in the current meta.
It is true. I mean, what is your go-to? If you had to pick your 2 tanks on your team, what is it going to be?
Well, right now in the current meta, at higher levels, it's still Orisa Sigma, but I really like in, more Diamond, lower Masters level games, which is a lot of what we're going to be seeing today, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot of Orisa Reinhardt that can actually work. Orisa Reinhardt, and some people are talking about something crazy, the Orisa Winston. So combining an Orisa with any of these usual main tanks can create these really interesting combinations of like pull with Monkey Jump, pull with Reinhardt Fire Strike. You could charge ults a lot faster than you think and do all this stuff and impair the movement of the enemy team with that Orisa pull. So just really interesting tank compositions as we move further into this 2-2-2 meta.
I definitely agree. I mean, right now, personally, I'm a Reinhardt main myself. So if anything that I can, combo up with the Zarya, it's my favorite. You got to see, especially with the new updates on the shield. I mean, he seems to have more of a buff. Everybody else seems to have that nerf there. All right, let's see what we can do right now. The Grav has been thrown out. May still has that Blizzard, though. She could save the fight. Might save for the next one. I don't know myself. The hammer down connects, and they're going to be able to wipe most of the team. May throwing it down if they can cap this out right now. You love how they're just keeping this momentum, the aggression, always making sure to push up. Dragons are both popped out. Red versus blue, and that is going to be a 4-minute cap right there. You'll love to see it. That's gonna be a tough one. Even if they are able to capture with some time, having that 4 minutes is almost an entire extra round. That's an entire extra round. So it's gonna be very difficult. This defending team is gonna have to pull out something huge going on offense.
Yeah, you really don't see it too often, especially not on this map where there's a lot of different choke points that you can hold. But at every single choke point, seems like the red team is just able to roll over top of the blue team here. And again, I think it comes down, both teams were playing that Rein Zarya when we're talking about the tank matchups. Rein Zarya is a super snowball tank comp, if you will, where you win one fight and all of a sudden you're moving forward so fast, it's really impossible for the defense to get that momentum back. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something of a roll the other way too, if the blue team can really get it clicking on offense.
Yeah, blue team's got, they want to prove themselves right now. Switch over to Hamster, though. Hamster, I mean, the Wrecking Ball is a great character and all, but going into this kind of a comp against a Mei, I don't know if that's quite the pick they need to be able to counter that. We'll see, though. Jumping in right now. I find out if they're going to be playing aggressive like they did in the first round, or they're going to kind of, play by ear, get the first pick, and then push off.
Yeah, and I'm having little trouble with the stream here, seeing what's going on, but I can tell you that if you're going to be coming in with a Wrecking Ball against a Mei, that is never a good sign. It's just very difficult for the Wrecking Ball to get that value he needs, to get that displacement of the enemy team when Mei is just going to be there freezing him out of all of his movements. So it'll be interesting to see how the Wrecking Ball plays this.
80's gonna be very. I mean, you're up against a Mei and a Junkrat with a tire, with his trap. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster at this point. In my opinion, Wrecking Ball is kind of an old farm, but hey, in the right hands, he can be an absolute monster here. They do have the Symmetra. They're gonna probably go behind them up top. I don't know if they quite placed it where they needed to go, but Wrecking Ball says too little, too late. I'm jumping in right now. If they can get off that ult charge, you're gonna slam down in the middle of that team. Immortality's already down right now. Let's see if they can pop it off right now. 46% already on Junkrat's tire right now. A great defense, like I talked about before. Reinhardt is spawned. When that main tank is down, all you have is your second tank is going to be the Wrecking Ball. Not a lot of defense. And they're going to easily swipe away that attack right there. There needs to be some swaps going forward right now.
Yeah, and you do see that Wrecking Ball not really finding the value that he wants there. And the Junkrat definitely working here for the side of defense.
It's true, but at the same time, though, he's still staying on Wrecking Ball. Maybe, I mean, my thing is if you're going to be playing right now, you have to make sure you're swapping off as soon as possible. But we'll see what he can do right now. 28% on that ultimate. They already have a Moira ultimate as well. So if we pop that off, comboing up with the Junkrat in the window, that is going to be a one-shot wonder. And again, the onslaught of the offense is stopped. Like, I can't even tell you. They're just literally a brick wall, and no one is getting through this defense.
Yeah, and just this combination of the Baptiste field with the Junkrat, you have the Rein Zarya, which gives you a lot of aggression that can be supported with the Mei and the Lucio. It's just a very, I would say, versatile comp in terms of just pushing in, but also sitting back and pelting them with damage. They can kind of choose when they want to take their engagements because they can use Junkrat to cover any amount of distance.
Exactly. In the Hanzo right there, taking out Mei as well as Junkrat's ultimate. A great play on his part. A hammer down sounded. Only a few connected, though. Looks like the Reinhardt is doing a great job counterpinning them and hopefully pulling it off right now. There's Graviton and Beat Drop have both been sounded. Reinhardt not there to protect his friends as much as he would be able to. Moira, though, Coalescence shoots through all those shields. Cleaning that up. It's going to be a great fight so far. Red team already down 2. Can blue capitalize on this moment? Zarya is already at 100 charge, only 6 health. Too little, too late. It looks like it's going to be a wipe for the red team here. Already 3 down. Can they hold it off? Hanzo with the Dragons. Not able to utilize that just yet. It's going to be a great cap off so far. If they can make sure that first point's always the hardest one. Second, a little bit harder to hold, as we've seen in, the Overwatch League and things like that. But these players are doing a great job. The great hook by our Roadhog right now. 162 needs to be careful. And just like that, Mei capitalizes on that opportunity, taking down Roadhog and McCree soon following.
Yeah, and like you were saying, with that first point being so hard to get, that choke was just being dominated by the Junkrat and the Mei. Second point, definitely a little harder to defend, especially since you can't really play that Junkrat Mei composition on the second point with all the high ground. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams battle over the high ground and what heroes they decide to play.
It's very true. I love how the red team right now is defending. They're very aggressive because they know when they have that pick opportunity, they know, okay, this is our fight to win. We can definitely make this happen. And they capitalize on every single time they're on that point. They're in the spawn right now. I mean, what are you supposed to do when a team is this aggressive? It's not usually what you find right now. But Roadhog taking down Junkrat, but soon following the death, I would rather, trade my Roadhog for a Junkrat any day. But at that point, let's see if they can keep this up. 3 minutes on the clock to cap that entire second point right now. I don't know if they quite have it right now. The great Dragons separating the team from the healers, hopefully. But it looks like they're so far pushed up, it doesn't even matter. Reinhardt's shield has broken. This is your opportunity. The window has been placed. Immortality is down, though. And Roadhog is all over Crazy Cat. In that spawn, he knows he has the inhaler. He can get out of there if he needs to. A great play by all players here. If they can keep it up right now.
Absolutely. Just some really good plays on both sides. We were talking earlier about the Hanzo plays. All it really takes sometimes is for one of your DPS to really just pop off and get going.
Yeah, and you can see these off tanks are doing a great job. Both Zarya and Roadhogs I've seen so far today have done a great job of making sure, they're almost a DPS of their own at that point. They're getting the picks they need to. They're pushing off when they have the opportunity, and it's a great playing all around right now. Out of the car, popping off the whole hog here, taking one pick. Mei with the flashbang. They're still too far up in that spawn right now. The blue team knows that they have us now. Baby, again, popping off right now. Already a double kill. Taking that immortality. He sees an opportunity on the right-hand side. I don't know if they're going to be able to take out that Mei there just in time. Oh, sorry, Lucio. Barely able to escape. This could be tough. They need more time. With the Deadeye, he could possibly go up on top of the bridge and take maybe a team wipe. But again, you have to take out that Reinhardt. Ravage does have his hammer down on a slow, kind of a little bit of a choke point right there. Hanzo, 1v1 against Junkrat. DPS versus DPS. Who wins that fight, though? Baptiste coming to back him up right now. He says, I got you. I'm going to back you up. 2v1. McCree back up top once again. Baby is such a monster with those flashbangs. He knows this is his opportunity, but falls down by the Reinhardt right now.
Yeah, and like you're talking about those DPS 1v1s, it's really important to win those no matter what side you're on. When you're on the defense, though, and you're thinking about coming back all the way back from spawn and getting back into the fight, definitely don't want to lose 1v1s, but defense does look like they're able to hold pretty strong here.
That's what I'm talking about right now. It seems that one team is, the blue team is doing a little bit of a tougher job of staying together. They kind of have their flankers. They're a little bit all over the place. If they can just regroup at this point in time, they'll do a great job. Red team is always together. They're behind that Ryan shield. They're capitalizing on that. And you can see how much it's paying off for them. Baptiste is down. It's a 5v6, but Roadhog has been traded for that fight. Maybe has Deadeye. He's been holding on to it for a little bit longer here, but he's waiting for the opportunity moment. 41 health. Reinhardt needs to turn around and get focused on that Roadhog behind him. But Mei says, that's my time to shine. A great Blizzard, knocking out all 4 players. Moira might be able to get out of here. Roadhog is still walking back from spawn. But again, it's so tough for them once you're, those chokes we talk about, those corners, if you play them right, it is an absolute dead stop when it comes to these offense pushes.
Yeah, 100%. You just really can't walk into a Mei ult without anything prepared and expect to win the fight. They didn't have beat drop there, but they also didn't use any of their ults, so blue team is coming up on a lot of ults here if they can get back to the point.
That's a very good point right now. A great whole hog right now. Blue team might be able to pull this off right now. We could see the biggest upset right now after having been stopped for the longest amount of time. They have no ultimates except for the hammer down and sights. I don't know if sights is going to be enough for them, obviously, because it's the final fight here, but they could make something happen here if they are able to capitalize it. Like I said, they have the comp that they need to be able to cap it all out on the 3rd point right now. But it's going to be very difficult. They're already in overtime. They cannot step off at this point. A great hammer down by Reinhardt. And whole hog, everybody is going down. Blue team, despite all odds, gets the team kill. A great turnaround. You live for this moment right now. A minute 30 seconds to cap all the way on the edge here. I am so excited to see if they can pull it off right now. Again, though, even if they do manage to cap us out, red team will have 4 minutes and 2 seconds to be able to cap 1 tick on the 2nd point.
Yeah, and that's not a lot of time when you think about it. This 1 minute 30 seconds only equivocates to about 2 fights, maybe, if you're lucky, 3 fights. So at the end of the day, blue team still has to be absolutely perfect here to cap with those seconds left that they need to get another shot to attack point A.
A very good point. Maybe, though, who knows what they're talking about right now. I don't know what changed during that push, but they got together, they started grouping up, and after they did that, they started winning those fights. So hopefully, whatever they had last time, they can pull it off again here. Lucio, a great backtrack there. I thought he was honestly going to get picked, but he managed to get out in time. It's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, and it's always nice when we're talking about these players here, all playing in their in this pickup game to try and see, who's going to get drafted, who fits on what team, what sort of team is going to get formed here for this Winter Cup that we're playing in. It's very interesting to see these players try to show off their mechanical skill as best they can. Lucio is such a great hero to show off mechanical skills on.
He's doing a great job. I want to touch base real fast. Pichu has done a great job of avoiding as much damage as possible. That beat drop was huge when it came to the hammer down. It's only a Roadhog and Hanzo on point. If Hanzo manages to hit the shots, though, he will be able to secure this. It's going to be a tough one, though. Roadhog, like you said, one of the best tanks when it comes to contestability right now. 72 on those dragons, for only 17 health. The immortality's down, and Doofus says too little. You're dead there, Hanzo. It might be open for the blue team. The overtime meter is, no, it's almost down. They're literally hanging on by a thread, but like they've done before, we've seen great things happen, so let's see if they can pull it off one more time. The Widow, if she can just get one pick on this May, will be huge going in, but the C9 was there. A great matchup indeed, a great game. We saw rises and falls, pushes and defenses that were incredible. What were your thoughts? What stood out to you during that game right there?
Well, I really did like the tank play from the side of Red Team. They were very much always in control, always knew where they were on the map, always very aware of when to push in, when to back up. Tank duo looked pretty in sync when you come to playing Ryan Zarya. You definitely need to have some sort of chemistry between the two there, and we definitely saw that between Crazy Cat and Ravage. I think that was a huge factor in why Red Team was so dominant. But with that being said, on the other side, on blue team, the tanks made some very heroic plays going down the stretch, getting back onto that point like we were talking for second point, and the support line on the side of blue team also did a great job. That would be Pichu and Shinrakai did very good work on that Lucio Baptiste, which can be considered a low healing comp when you look at, like, you know, maybe a Baptiste Moira as some teams are playing, or a Baptiste Zenyatta even. But they made it work. They kept their tanks up, and I think both teams just did a really great job with their attack pushes.
Exactly. No, there's no one I saw there that was not pulling their way. Everybody did a great job. It just came down to who used the right combo at the right time. You know, who got that 1v1 pick right there. I thought Red Team did a great job sticking together and kind of backing each other up. But Blue Team, they did a great job. There was plays from every single player on there that stood out to me during that match. You know, when they needed to get the pick, they were able to capitalize on that. You know, Red Team was just so aggressive from the start. When they're in that spawn, they wasted so much of the enemy's time, because even if you are able to wipe them out, that's still 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute even, that was wasted on your second push after already holding for so long on the first point.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was really nice to see Blue Team get that attack going, to get out there and really get to show off some of their skill. I was a little bit afraid when I saw that 4-minute time bank that it was just going to be a roll from Red Team, which is always a possibility when you have these pickup games where you don't really know what you're going to get in terms of players. But when you see both teams really get to show off, you know, their different roles, the players in those roles, their mechanical skill. We got to see some DPS 1v1s, tank synergy, support ults being used at good times, all that stuff. It's really nice to see. And if you're a prospective coach here going into this draft, you definitely have to think that all the players, both from Red Team and Blue Team, looked very good on their roles. And I don't know, frankly, I'd be happy to have any of them on my team.
Oh, if I were a coach right now, I would be so happy with the amount of talent that is out there on those both. That's only our first game. We still have so many games to go right now. And game one was already incredible from the get-go. So I'm very excited to see who's going to, you know, stand out. Possibly, you know, the story is just starting. You know, we just opened the book of tonight on how these games are going to go. So hopefully we can find something going on. You know, someone's going to stand out. Someone's going to stand above the rest. Hopefully, who knows? Maybe there's going to be, I'm still waiting for that one-man clutch up 6, you know, team kill. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, 100%. Or maybe, you know, someone hops on the Diva real quick, throws out a 6K bomb, and then eats the grav. Something ridiculous, you know? I think that would pretty much, in that order, exactly. That's the key. I think that someone making a play like that would 100% catapult them into that first draft pick sort of spot where, you know, you're looked at as, oh man, that's the player to get. Everybody wants that player on their team, so that's the player that goes first. Or, you know, it could be like this, where, you know, you really have no idea who the best player in the tournament is, because everybody's just really, really good on their roles. Everybody's putting in a lot of work. That's
a good point. That's a very good. You know, Chunk, honestly, if I were a team captain, I'd choose you. I'd choose you on my team.
Bonsai, you're the best. I would choose you. I think we'd do a 2-man team, and I think we could roll through this. Although we do have build on the production. Everybody at L1 Productions on our team. I think we'd put up a pretty good fight.
I think so too. Let's get everybody together. We're just get a 6-man army against all the actual players. It'll be fantastic.
Yes, 100%. There's no way that could go wrong.
Let's just all pick DPS. Take off Rollock. We're all going to be tracers. Okay, I'm already tracer.
You know, I will say one of the things I miss a lot from before roll lock was the comp games where you'd get in and you'd have, your 4 insta-lock DPS and then you'd have a ball and a mercy. That comp was fun to play.
I could not stand Overwatch before roll comp because without roll queues, I mean, I always had, there'd be 5 DPS. I was the Mercy. I was the Lucio trying to heal everybody. And everyone's just spamming like, I need healing. Like it gives them like 10% extra heals or something like that, And so I'm sitting over there. Noah's in team chat because no one wants to talk. And I'm sitting there like, you know what? One day there'll be roll lock. And one day that answered prayer was there. And I was so happy. I was like, Jeff Kaplan, you absolute fiend, you.
See, I didn't mind it too much because I was one of the DPS players. So I was always just thinking, hey, cool, I get to show up and play DPS. I don't mind.
Yeah, lucky you. Lucky you.
Lucky me, right? No. I really enjoyed back when there was no roll queue, when you'd be in those high level games and you'd say, oh, I'm not really performing well on DPS, and you'd say, well, I wonder if this healer wants to switch to DPS or if this tank wants to swap roles with me because I don't like the way they're tanking, or that sort of stuff. I do miss that like switching on the fly sort of deal that used to define Overwatch, but now in the 2-2-2 you definitely have a lot of cleaner games at all levels because you have just that baseline for what the game is going to look like.
Right, no, I feel like we're at, honestly, the best point Overwatch has ever been at this point in time.
Yeah, and I don't know. You might be, you're definitely in a minority when you think that, because I know a lot of people are unsatisfied with where the game is at. But when you really look at it, the game is pretty fun right now. We're past goats. Yeah. We're past double shield. Those were the two metas that people had problems with. Personally, I loved goats. I thought that was a great meta for the game. I really thought double shield was awful for the game. And
double shield was rough, especially as like a McCree or somebody who could not. I mean, if you throw down, if you have the Sigma Orisa, I mean, how are you supposed to get past that with 1 DPS? That's really
all the great Widowmakers in an Overwatch League being forced onto Reaper, and it was just it was tough to watch for a while. But I think we're at a point in the game now where things are starting to look more balanced. And I don't know. I'm not a developer. I'm not a pro player or anything, so I probably don't have that much expertise to speak on, but I do think that power creep is a bit of a problem in Overwatch, so as they look to nerf maybe more characters rather than buff characters, the game will get a lot more balanced and even, and the metas will start to disappear, I hope, and the game will just become a lot more freeform.
Right, exactly. Just keep buffing Reaper. I'm all about it. Buff Reaper more and more, please.
Well,
I'm all about that life. I want 75% lifesteal. That's all I want.
Give me the orbs. Give me the orbs back. That's what I'm saying. I want to eat the souls again.
Those are fun when you got you popped off your Death Blossom and you're able to absorb 5 orbs throughout the entire fight. It was great.
You'd walk around, I'd kill one person, eat their orb, go kill a couple more. It was a good time.
It was a great time in life. That was a simpler time. A simpler time. Now, Overwatch 2 coming out soon, though. That is going to be the real question. I hope they hit it home. I really hope they hit a home run on this one.
Yeah, it'll bring a lot of people back into the fold in terms of people who used to play the game and didn't anymore because they didn't like a certain meta, or people who just got burnt out and decided they wanted to go play a different game. And Overwatch 2, it definitely has the ability to bring everybody back in, bring everybody back together under a common banner, sort of like things were when Dive was the meta and, first season of Owl was on. So it'll be interesting to see how exactly that whole community aspect of Overwatch 2 plays out, if it'll unite the community or if it'll divide them even further. I'm hopeful.
I guess we'll have to find out, but jumping into our second matchup of the day right now, Orisa versus Orisa. This is the double shield comp we talked about earlier, the Orisa Sigma strategy. But, it's going to be tough because one team right now, blue team, has a Pharah versus a Widowmaker and an Ana. Will she be able to pull off, I don't think they have a pharmacy going on, but if they have enough heals, they could pull it off. It's going to be a little bit difficult, like I said before. She seems to be doing a great job so far with that pharmacy there, taking down Ana, and I believe I saw Hanzo Alpha, the sniper, fight against Widowmaker earlier. So let's see if they can keep it up right now. Genji is going to be a great pick here, along with the Nano Blade. It's going to be a great combo if they're able to pull that off right now. They don't have the Zarya to combo up right now, but that's totally fine. You can to each their own on whatever characters you want to play. We'll see right now. The pharmacy, their jump. Everybody seems to be focusing right now. Widow takes out Shinra, the Mercy right now, so there's going to be no pharmacy opportunity, but Orisa counters with the pick on Ana. Both main healers have been down right now. Can Widow be able to take out the Widowmaker? Let's see it happen, and Pharah has fallen. Hanzo up top once again. He has 1-0 against this Widow, so she can pull it off right now. That'd be a great upset. Baptiste has spawned again on the blue team. So blue team, both healers are on their way back from the spawn right now. He has window, and we also have Barrage as well as Bongo. So it's going to be a great matchup so far. If they can be able to pull off all, are they going to, stagger out those ultimates? Or are they going to just do a one-man army show where they'd blast every single one? Well, let's find out as, we get in the second fight here.
Yeah, and this is a little bit tough, the comp that red team is running. When you look at the Widowmaker and the Genji versus Double Shield, it's not as much spam as you see from the Hanzo Pharah on the other side if we're looking strictly at the DPS. So the shields on red team's side are going to go down a lot faster, giving the Hanzo a lot more room to just headshot people. But if the Widow and the Genji can really pop off and get in and disrupt what blue team is trying to do, it'll actually end up paying off more in the long run for them.
A very good point. Sniper, the Genji, has been doing a great job so far. I love how he focused the Orisa, making sure to take down the main shield tank there. The red team is able to capitalize on that, though, and has captured the first objective. Sigma out of position right now, trying to back up. There's no possible way he makes it out of this, though. The heals are on the next level, though. How does he make it out of this? In the absolute worst area possible, somehow backtracks. The healers were on point, making sure they're, that he's able to pull out somehow. I honestly thought he was dead there, but I love to see. That's what you love about Overwatch. You never know what's going to happen on the next point right now. Widowmaker, barely a little bit of health left on the Pharah, but she's going to be healed up in the Mercy Pharmacy combo right now, down to 4 health, and that's going to be Baby taking out Artrexia. And a huge ultimate by our Pharah Bongo Pharmacy combo. I mean, how much more damage buff do you need for one barrage? But hey, you know what? There's no such thing as overkill when it comes to Overwatch here.
Yeah, 100%. And what I'm really excited to see is this ongoing Widow duel between Atrexia and Baby. Two of them going back and forth. We saw Baby draw first blood in that duel once they switched onto the Widow there. So Baby is now responsible for keeping Atrexia off of Wiki Tricks on that Pharah, while Atrexia then all of a sudden has to deal with both the Pharah and the opposing Widow. So Genji's going to have to get a little bit more aggressive, I think, onto Baby on that Widowmaker, and sort of deal with that problem.
That's going to be a big problem right now because it seems like Shinra is going to be doing a great job of damage buffing, kind of pocketing their DPS right now. Even if you are able to take out one of them, she's always going to have that res every 30 seconds, and so it's going to be a very difficult situation at this point. Maybe red team needs to go for a dive tank, possibly a Winston, anything to kind of get them off there. It's going to be tough. They are still on the Pharah after all of this time, so something needs to be changing up here. It's going to be a Nano Widow to take out a double kill right now. Both the Pharmacy are down and doing a great job taking out Sigma with that headshot. It's so satisfying hearing the headshot of a Widowmaker, especially when it's on your team. Not against you, but when it's on your team, nothing can beat that feeling.
Good point there, Bonds. I definitely agree. Headshots with Widowmaker is one of the best things in esports in general, I think. When you watch a Widowmaker just fly up there like that, just donk somebody on top of the head. Really awesome to see, especially when you start to see several in a row and the Widow's just popping off. Definitely one of the most dynamic and exciting characters in this game.
Oh, it's one of the highest. I mean, as a controller player myself, it never works out in my favor. But let's see what happens right now. Wiki Trex was able to take down Artrexia. Artrexia is coming back from spawn right now. 94 on a blade. Katie popping off for the final contestment. I don't know. 97. He just needs a little bit of heals right now, and he can finally finish up this point. Red team holding on by a thread right now. They're down there, Lucio. It's up to Ana. Solo heals. It's Baby taken down by Genji, grabbing the health back, and he needs to pop this blade. It could be huge, but I don't think they'll actually need it at the end of the day right now. Sniper, they're all up right now. It seems like blue team, they're already down 3-4 picks right now. It's just Baby and Sigma, but Sigma has spawned. Greek God, well done, well tried. Better luck next time as we go to the third point in defense right now. They have plenty of ults. They have, they have Valkyrie. They have everything they could possibly want. Ana almost has the blade to combo up with Sniper. That could be huge to open up the next fight.
Yeah, and we're seeing this unorthodox comp from red team actually work due to some great play, some great individual plays, especially from Sniper, who really popped off in that last fight, finding several solo kills. In fact, as we saw some of them from his perspective. And Atrexia on that Widowmaker still putting on the pressure, applying the pressure, finding the picks, not any huge flashy plays, for example, but, just enough to get things done. It's really nice to see both these DPS working in tandem and applying the pressure at the right points. Gives the tanks and the supports a lot of space to kind of do what they want.
I just want to point out real fast, Sniper with the 3-man blade, and it's such a Sniper's such a problem at this point in time that Mercy literally decided, you know what, I'm done with it, I'll take him out myself. Popping the Valkyrie and able to blast him away with infinite ammo right now. This is one you're going to see when the Widowmaker has such a great peak advantage right now, uncontested, because you have to, the defending team has to take care of Payload, but he has ultimate height, he has long range. This is where Widow can shine right now. Baptiste has spawned, Ricarion has fallen, but there's still Mercy up. She's done a great job. Shinra has done a great job so far. Baby's now swapped over to Ashley, doing a double sniper combo right now. But can Blue Band, with his ultimate matched up with Widow, pull something off right now? He's in the middle of his Graviton Flux, was not able to find any kills right now. Hanzo, Baptiste, and Orsa have fallen. It's already 3 down, 4 down. Shinra to follow. This could be the final push of the round number 1 so far. Sights have been popped, and that is going to be a great round number 1 completed here. Let's see if the defending team can hold up against them on round number 2.
Yeah, and I really liked this long sight line that Atrexia took on the Widow for that fight. It turned the fight from something where it might have been more of a brawl in the street to all of a sudden, blue team on defense now has to be taking cover at these really long angles from that Widow. And all of a sudden, red team gets to dictate how the fight plays out. And they know exactly where they're going to be able to take the fight, because if blue team tries to take the fight any earlier, they're going to get headshot by the Widow. So
that's very true.
Really
that's
great,
very true.
Really great work from Atrexia. Proving that they can hit their shots too is always really important. It's almost like in basketball, right? If you have a team that's not too good at 3-point shooting, they don't need to guard the 3-point line if you're on defense, right? Same thing for Widow. If you have a Widow that can't hit shots, why are you worried about the Widow? But Atrexia proves that they can absolutely hit shots, and all of a sudden you have to be really scared.
It's going to be very, very interesting to see what they play off in the second round right now. They're looking for a Ball Winston combo along with Genji Lucio. It's almost a dive comp, but it's not quite the dive comp. Maybe the Ana will be hanging in the back line, maybe on point, while the team does a little bit of the work. It's going to be tough to battle with because they only have a Sigma Orisa. This is not a comp that's designed, red team's comp here, designed to, counter blue. But who knows? At any point in time, you need to hit the shots that you need to be able to hit. It's going to be difficult. I am interested to see, though, how our Genji stacks up against both a Doomfist, Ana, and a Winston.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be up to Sniper, really, to avoid all of these stuns and area of effect damage and just all of this stuff that's going on the side of blue team. And this is a very good dive map, Watchpoint Gibraltar. There's so much high ground that can be controlled. So when you have Winston, when you have Ball, Genji, Doom, all these characters that are super vertical in how they play, it plays 100% to the strengths of the map.
A very good point right now. Ball trying to pick up that Hanzo right now. It was great, but I want to point out the fact that Sigma was able to block the knockdown effect from the hamster from earlier. They're going to be jumping back on point right now. Shinra, like I said before, Ana was not the pick for the dive comp here. Falling down, both healers have fallen. Doomfist getting right in there. Can they keep it up right now? Baby, already 27%. It's not going to be looking good. They need to swap something up right now, or possibly, maybe I would say a little bit more of a Moira instead of Ana for mobility, but we'll see what happens right now. It's only the first fight of the round so far here. Baby trying to get any little dinks that he can right now. 31% on his ult here. The other tanks right now, Atrexia already at 70%, our farthest ult charge so far. And that's going to be Dragons on the bottom point. Will be huge if he's able to stagger those opponents and kind of split them up in the healers again.
Yeah, and a dive comp like this relies heavily on that Nanoblade combo. And we see Baby not really keeping pace with Sniper on this ult charge. So it looks like the side of red team is actually going to have their Nanoblade combo before blue team. And that's very telling to which comp is really working better in the situation when you look at those ult charges, especially when you look at such an important combo like Nanoblade.
A very good point right now. Hamster, 78 health back into the spawn point. I think he might be going for a swap off. It does not seem so. I was about to say he's already at 90% on his ultimate right there. There's no reason for him to swap off just yet. If he's able to place those mines behind them on the back end of that trench down below, that will be a great stopgap. They can kind of sandwich them between those mines and the players. But it's going to be difficult. I mean, like I said before, you have to get them down. It's all about positioning right now. They're doing a great job. Sigma, he wasted his boulder right now. He's getting knocked out the players. Was not able to follow up, though. It seems to be a tough fight right now. Oh, Lucio, the dragon has been popped, and that's going to be 3 kills against our blue team right now. Another reset so far. They need to figure something out. They only have 2 minutes left to cap the entire point. Shinra, great sleep by him so far, and barely able to be taken down. Ball's still back there. This could be what they need. They make sure, a little bit of element of surprise. He wasn't able to knock them down like you hoped for the first time, but who knows if he's able to do it the second time because they don't see him this time. They don't see him behind on the staircase.
Yeah, and what I really liked going back like a fight or so to when red team had like 6 ultimates and blue team only had about 3. I really like that blue team showed some very important discipline there to leave themselves with a lot more ultimates in the long run than red team have. Even though red team started that fight with 6, red team ended up using 3, and I believe all blue team used was that monkey ultimate. So really good ult discipline that could end up winning them this point.
I believe so right now as they take down 4 of the red players, and they're still holding on to bongos right now. Sorry, red is still on the bongos. So it just goes to show they still have a little bit of contestment left if they're able to get back there in time. Lucio and Tide and a Winston on him. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it right now. I don't think we'll be able to contest this just in time. Winston up top with 75% on his ultimate and a pulse bomb on the way. It's going to be great if she can just kind of get on that corner right there from behind. A little bit of, kind of whittle down that Ana. Possibly Sniper coming back right now. Winston, this is the comp that they need right now. All they needed was a little bit more of a close quarter contestment. Winston with Tracer. Able Blue is taking down 3 right now, but Red has 2 only down right now. Can they keep it up? Ana is back up and alive right now. Winston Ravage doing a great job trying to push anybody he can off the point. Any possible way that he can get out of here. 505 health. Pulling back out great discipline once again, like we talked about before. Blue team is great on when it comes to that. They need to make something happen. 1.3 meters to cap out this point right now. Tracer needs to find some sort of way out. Down to 75 health. No recall as well. The final contestant. They have the ults. It could be Hamster 75. This could, I'm not going to say who might win this fight, but it's any man's game. A great sticky bomb. The recall missing the Sigma ult right now. There's been no picks. The red team is down 1. It's going to be an even fight, 1-1. Ball has the mines. Will he use it though? I don't think he quite needs it, but he's going to go ahead and do it anyways. 3.6 meters is all that stops them from the second point right now. Fidio has fallen once again. Hamster did a great job of contesting them out right now. On his behind. This is going to be a great stall. They're going to be able to, kind of toy with her a little bit. Make sure she's staggered as long as possible so she can't, be the main heals for their team that they need.
Yeah, and these staggers are always so huge in these kind of payload maps because all of a sudden, instead of being able to get a close hold on the next point, because of that stagger, you have to go all the way back to your next spawn, group up with your teammate, and then you get to come back in. So there's all of this free payload that they're going to get now because of that stagger onto the Ana. So very good discipline there from blue team, and they're gonna get some cart percentage because of that.
And they're already halfway to the second point right now. Genji has played up top, baby. He's on the Ana. He sees them. This could be a huge pick once again. They're not only doing a great job of protecting their Ana, but at the same time, they made sure to jump back on her. It might have been a little bit of a bait and switch there. He still has played. If he can get maybe a nano or something like that there, I don't believe Shinra is going to be able to pop it off just yet. A great pick on Sniper. Genji versus Genji right now. Wiki Tricks has fallen by Sigma. He still has played. Will he pop though? Waiting, I believe, for the beat drop to go out right now. That's gonna be a great opportunity here. He needs to get rid of the Sigma to the Orisa ult there, but not enough there. Shinra able to take out bongos, but too little, too late once again. 75% on Hamster's ultimate here. Only a minute 13. They seem to be a little bit behind right now, but that's the way Overwatch sometimes rolls. They're swapping off for now to the Orisa Sigma combo, double shields. Can it be enough though? Sniper has his ultimate. They also have nano for that blade. So I don't know quite enough if it's going to be, what it takes to hold them off. 60 seconds is not a lot of time. Maximum 2 pushes here. They need to be fast about this right now.
Yeah, switching inside 2 minutes is always a toss-up. I feel like 2 minutes is the amount of time you really need to make sure that you have the ult combinations you need to win some of these fights on these compositions. So when you switch inside 2 minutes, you know that you're desperate, and it's sort of a last-ditch attempt. So we'll have to see here what blue team can really pull out without many ults on their side.
But Great God answers the call right now. Already 2 picks, and he's still on the point right now. I believe this was what his calling was the entire time. Taking down the red team. They seem to be falling as soon as the swap happened. It's been an absolute steamroll. A great point already at 40% on his ultimate on the Graviton Flux. If he's able to pop this off in time, the Dragons have been sounded a little bit early there. They could have saved that for the final fight. Oh, a great stun fan the hammer right now by our baby once again. They're going to be able to get a great opportunity to pick off these players. I don't know quite enough if it's going to be enough time. Popping his ult, Sigma was just going to eat that. Might have been a little bit too greedy there, but like I said before, any ult charge is still ult charge at that point in time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see this blue team really pushing forward on this new composition. it's almost a mirror to what the side of red team is running. It definitely is a mirror when you look at the tank lines and the Hanzo for that extra spam. You do see, however, on the side of the red team that Moira, as opposed to the Baptiste. The Baptiste immortality field is almost like an ultimate in itself with how powerful it is and with the long cooldown, but just the fact that it can stop people from dying. If you put it around a corner, it really can't be touched by the enemy team. So just it provides so much value to your team.
It's very true. I mean, at that point in time, is Lucio even worth it when you have a Baptiste that can pop off what is essentially Lucio's ult almost every 15 seconds? We'll see what they can do right
exactly.
now. They have Transcendence. They have 4 ultimates right now looking for the Graviton Flux. They find it on the Moira and Sigma. A great opportunity has arisen right now. Can they capitalize on them, though? I don't know myself. 305 damage has been placed out right now. Orisa is behind their Mei wall. It's not going to be which one to find right now. Alto has fallen. Both maintains to be 3 picks right now. Could be what they need. It's going to be stagger after stagger. Red team needs to stick together. They need to group up before they push out. They do not want to stagger fight on this final, contestment.
Yeah, absolutely. The staggers are always just such a big deal, especially when you're on the defense. Because like we talked about earlier, Bonsai, with the pushing forward the cart for free, not being able to defend until you get your full team together, or else you're just really staggering even more if you try to push out. And red team's going to have to switch onto the ball, switch onto these stall characters, and get off of the composition that they want to play.
It's going to be tough. I mean, both teams right now, 1 minute and 1 minute 44 seconds. Will it be red, will it be blue? The eternal battle of Overwatch has sounded once again right now. What will they change up, though? Will they run the dive comp once again with the Winston, with the, high mobility, or will they kind of go for the Arista Sigma that they tried before? That is going to be a tough question that these teams are going to have to answer right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams looking, solid on the offense. Neither one of them looking, I would say, dominant on the offense, though. Both of them had their shortcomings. There's spots where they almost got held, and then they got to move on. Blue team, especially on that first point, things got rather dicey. So it'll be interesting to see how both these teams go back to their next attack and try to get things done.
I don't know myself right now at this point. You only have 1 minute. It's double overtime right now. What is going to be the play? What characters do you choose at this point in time? Are you going to be a little bit more, you're not aggressive, but more forward when it comes to your teammates? Like, if you start seeing your teammate that doesn't quite live up to what you're hoping for, do you, at this point in overtime, let them know about that? You kind of play a little more passive? I don't know. They're looking for the pharmacy combo like they did in the beginning right now. Will they have the, I don't think they're going to have the Widowmaker to combo against either Babies, McCree, and they also have a Mei, but I don't know if that's the answer against the pharmacy as well as the Baptiste Hanzo combo here.
Yeah, 100%. And it all comes down, I think, too, to the way you use the map, right? You can kind of make any composition work in some of these more amateurish Overwatch tournaments where teams haven't been scrimming together for months and, don't know exactly what the best ways to play the map are. Some players are in lower elo, some are in higher elo. So you have a little more leeway with the composition you play. I think it all oftentimes comes down to how well a team can play together. Can you get everybody out of spawn together? Can you get everybody to die together on cart? Can you make sure that things happen the way you want them to? Where you play on the map is really important too. So I think it's possible. I think this comp could definitely work.
It is going to be very difficult, though. Right now, blue team already down 3 players. They're regrouping right now. The red team is still pushing. I believe they're split right now as well, which is not what you want to find out right now. Why is Baby all the way behind? There's only 1 second behind. It looks like it's going to be a C9! All the players were off of the payload. Nobody was thinking of themselves, why are we not pushing this right now? And too little, too late. That is going to be the way the cookie crumbles right now.
Yep, 100%. And you said it, too little, too late. Just couldn't quite get there in time. Definitely a crushing way to lose the round, especially when you're, going into that last fight, planning it out, thinking about like, oh man, if we get there, we can do this, we can do that. And then, time runs out, you don't get there, and all of a sudden you have to walk out and defend that spot for 2 full minutes.
Well, and at that point, it's honestly a mental battle for these players right now. They had all the ultimates. They won that fight, but they were just not on the cart at the right time. So what are they thinking in their minds right now? It's going to be so tough, especially against a Bastion Widowmaker combo. This is going to be as toxic can get right now. These players, they want that win. They know it is possible. Red team has something to prove right now. Blue Band on Sigmod. He's done a great job so far. If you told me this was an amateur game of Overwatch, I honestly would be surprised because these guys have been playing out of their mind all night tonight. So if they can keep that up, I mean, these coaches have a great future ahead of them between these picks right now.
Yeah, definitely some very talented players in here. I think every player in this lobby has played a lot of Overwatch, both in competitive, quick play, scrims, scrims being very important to how you handle yourself in this sort of setting. So it's very nice to see all these players acquitting themselves really well in these pugs.
It's going to be tough, though. They have a Bastion against them, so will that double shield combo be able to stand up against that actual laser that is Bastion and all of his DPS? They still have to get set up on the cart, though, so it will be a little bit difficult. They're choosing to reset with the Mercy damage buff on the side right now. Bastion laying down fire on the enemy right now. Shields have already fallen. Immortality's been placed and gone already. It's going to be great. I love how they use the left-hand side instead of going pushing on the main point right now. The damage buff taking down our Sigma already. Great God was not able to stand up to that. The May wall being melted as well right now. Bastion doing a great job, Sniper. He's making sure to put the damage where it needs to be put and also recalling when he needs to recall. He knows he's doing a great job. Everybody's playing great on this team right now. The May is trying to stall as much as possible with that cart already where it is at. It's not going to be enough. The damage buff by Kmart. Kmart is so smart, making sure to maintain heals, but at the same time, knowing that the DPS is going to be what saves them the day. Right now, Greek God behind them on the hamster will not be what it needs, but the window has been placed on top of a damage. That is so much damage right now. There is nothing you can possibly do. The ultimate has been sounded. The window was placed. That is going to be the final finish of game number 2. Well played by everyone.
Yeah, very well played. Especially, I really think that Sniper, and we do see Sniper with play the game here, but I think definitely Sniper is one of the huge standouts from this lobby. They played very well on the Genji against a comp that really wasn't too friendly for Genji. So if you're looking at that as a coach, you saw this player play against a composition that really definitely was not, I would say, optimized for a Genji to play into. And they still just came in, won the game, got a bunch of huge nanoblades. I think you definitely like to see that, and you're very confident in that player's skills on the hero. And then on the other side, on blue team, Greek God X was excellent on that Sigma, as well as the ball, but definitely a lot better on the Sigma. Seemed very confident on the Sigma, taking those off angles, putting in a lot of damage, charging those ultimates really quickly. So you really like to see that from both sides. They both had a really standout player, in addition, again, to just great player on both teams. Both teams were filled with players who played their roles very well, definitely have a spot in this Winter Cup.
Yeah, and you said I couldn't say it better myself, honestly. All these players have done such a great job, and today is only, honestly, kind of like tryouts for these coaches to see who they want, and it's not an elimination style tournament just yet. These players still have plenty of opportunity going into tomorrow and the next day for the finals. So these players do not have to worry. The C9 was unfortunate, but at the same time, you have to look at it, the fact that they won that fight beforehand. The only reason they lost that round to begin with was because they were not, at the same time, nobody was on the card. So it's tough, but at the same time, you have to imagine those players tomorrow and the next day will never make that mistake again, because they'll always remember that moment when they, it's playing, just the nerves, it's a mental battle at some point. You're in a tournament setting, you're trying to show off to these coaches, and it's unfortunate sometimes. It happens to the best of us, though.
You get those big plans, they had that high ground planned out. They had the ball, the monkey, all these vertical characters like we were talking about, but it does really come back down to that map knowledge. Do you have time to go to that high ground? You see 10 seconds on the clock. Do we have time to go up the stairs, across the bridge, up on the boxes, and then down? Because it doesn't really work if you don't have the time. And maybe a player would know that, right? If they have that count going in their head. Maybe a player wouldn't if they haven't played the map as much, if they hadn't scrimmed on the map as much, if they hadn't been in that situation before. So like you said, these players probably won't make that mistake again. They've been in the situation now. They know exactly, maybe I should keep a count going in my head. Maybe I should make sure we don't have to just speed right onto point.
No, it's a fair point, honestly. I mean, I thought that, at the same time, when we're watching these matches, we're commentating, we have a bird's eye view, but it's also so much easier to get noticed, in my opinion, as a DPS. But those healers and those tanks did such a great job as well. You have the pharmacy combo that lasted almost the entire first round, and they held strong the entire way through. But at the same time, you had your off tank, the Sigma ults were popped off, Orissa's, what I loved about that last match was both Orissa's on either team never held on to their ultimate too long. They sometimes getting those 2 picks is all you really need. You don't need a full team wipe, and I'm glad that nobody really held on to their ultimates too long, where it was honestly hurting their team. Everybody did a great job. They made it happen, and it was very, very smart, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially when talking about Orisa. When you think about that ultimate, it's the same way with like Baptiste window, right? When you think about that ultimate, it amplifies the damage done, and you want to get the most out of that. So you want to have the enemy team in range for as much of that ultimate as you can. So if you pop it at the beginning of a fight, for example, then you get the whole fight with the damage boost. Unfortunately, if you pop it, mid-fight or at the end of a fight, you only get that last part of the fight with the damage boost. And you definitely don't get to do as much damage. So it's very, very beneficial if you're using a damage ult to plan that out with your team. To say, you know what, we are absolutely just going to use this right when we see the enemy team walk in. We're going to put it around a corner so they can't destroy it. Or we're going to put it here on this really long stretch that we know they have to push into this window. Stuff like that is really important when we talk about team communication, but really when we talk about ult usage, it all sort of just links together. Like even when we're talking about map knowledge, learning what corners are good to put an immortality field around, or to put a Orisa bongo like we were talking about, where to put that so it doesn't get destroyed. So all of this stuff kind of has to go on in your head, but also in your voice comes with your team. You have to be able to talk about that. You have to be able to talk about what you want to do while everyone else is also trying to talk about what they want to do. It gets a little bit complicated.
No, it's very true. I mean, going into this match right now, I believe they play on Nepal. Nepal, in my opinion here, this is just my opinion, take it as you will, is one of the greatest competitive maps because of the three control points. Each has their own, composition that you need to run. So that's really going to show to these coaches who is able to flex on certain characters, who's going to be able to play, a wide variety. So, you have your environmental kills when you play on the center temple. You have your May, Symmetra type of combos as well on the main temple when it comes to, I forget which name it is right now. But there's just this one, in my opinion, is the greatest when it comes to showing off your, character awareness, your versatility. And it's going to be great for these players who are trying to show off, trying to get that last little game here with a little screen time and show off to those coaches. So we'll see what happens going into this next match.
Yeah, I definitely agree with a lot of what you said about Nepal there. It's one of the reasons I really love Control, and I think Control is just the best map type in Overwatch, because there's 3 distinct objectives, right? And each one always seems to, I don't know, have a bit of a different composition that is really good on it, right? So if you think about Nepal, you have that middle, that one where you got the big hole, what is it, Sanctum, I believe it is, and everybody can get booped off by a Wrecking Ball or a Doomfist or a Lucio. But then you go outside and you have these 2 points that are really dominated by Pharmacy. But in Village, you got that little closed area in the middle where the Mei kind of dominates because she can wall everybody out. And there's just all of these opportunities for outplays and for people to play really smart and think with sort of their picks, right? Pick the right comp. You might start out with an advantage on that point. So that's really nice to see. Lijiang Tower is a lot of the same way, I think. And that might be my favorite map in Overwatch.
Right. No, I mean, if it comes down to my favorite map, it's going to be Junkertown. I love Junkertown. It's one of those maps that, it's just chaos the entire way through. You have your Widowmaker peaks. You have, you run Pirate Ship or you run Bastion and Double Shields. I mean, that's my favorite. I mean, I'd love to see it one of these days here. But at the same time, a lot of the players out there, they aren't huge fans because of how much chaos it really is. Some people like the control maps, but Junkertown, I mean, it's honestly team deathmatch the entire way through.
Yeah, I'm a Hanzo player. I love that map. I love Rialto as well. Rialto first point. Some reason I just always pop off. I don't know why. I just always go nuts on Rialto first point. So for me, it's Rialto, but Junkertown is a close second for me. I just love the way I can move around, the big long sniper angles you can take. It's really cool. So we are moving Bonsai into the second lobby here. While we were in that first lobby, there has been a second lobby of people playing Pugs, getting ready for this draft. So it'll be interesting to see now a set of new players here that we're going to have here on this next lobby.
Some new heroes trying to make a name for themselves. I love seeing it, dude. I'm excited. I want someone to pop off as Reinhardt. Okay, I want to see some Reinhardt hit. I want to see absolutely overextension, but somehow the healers save them. That's what I live for on Overwatch.
Yes, and I am in the lobby now, so I will be seeing things firsthand. I was watching, our point of view camera streams back there, not getting stuff, but I will be live up to date now. So no more late call outs on stuff from me or anything. That being said, I am 100% down to see some big Ryan plays. I'm looking to see some flank shatters.
The flank shatter is the only shatter that matters right now. To be completely honest with you, all I'm looking for is I'm ready for the flank shatter followed by the blizzard. I mean, you make it happen, Nano Ryan. It's available.
I've been playing a lot of Ryan this season myself, and I have a DPI clicker on my mouse, so I just click it twice up my DPI to 3000 for a quick second, do a 360, and then hit the shatter just before. You just gotta style on people sometimes and hit the 360 shatters. So you never know. You can have some really fancy plays on Ryan. That's part of the reason I loved GOATs so much, is that Ryan was seemingly always there. The Ryan players were just the biggest chads in the league, if you will. They were just always at the front of their team, always just in mental warfare with one another. I really loved that part of GOATs.
Yeah, it's this second group we have right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I really liked our first group. They played so well. They did such a great job. Like I'm not gonna lie, right now they have to pop off to beat the first group in my eyes here. But I'm keeping an open mind. I'm keeping an open mind, open heart here. I'm just ready. If you're listening right now, Reinhardt is available and I'm waiting. So
yeah, absolutely. I agree that these guys are going to have to pop off to definitely beat that first group in terms of just, I'd say, overall team skill. And just the fact that we saw such good chemistry from those teams that we saw in the first round in what is pickup games, which is the teams are essentially just picked before the game randomly. The fact that we could see chemistry like that was really, really heartening, and it makes me think that this Winter Classic is going to show us some really quality Overwatch in the next couple days.
No, it's a very good point right now. I believe the second game is still getting wrapped up here right now. I'm trying to get all of the players ready to go. At this point in time, what is your pre-game ritual like? If you're going into a tournament like this, I know you said you've coached teams before. What is going through your mind? How can you prepare yourself for these matches when it's so you have such anxiety for a lot of these players and new players here?
Yeah, I've played in some matches in different tournaments and stuff, and it's always nice for me to listen to music a little bit beforehand, but then just to chill out and have it be quiet for a little bit, revel in that moment before you go in and you start having to hear everybody's comms and stuff is going in one ear, coming out the other ear, and it's just so much going on at once. You definitely need that moment to settle yourself beforehand, but then once you're in, it's really important to just have fun. And I know that sounds super cliche, but if you go in and you start overthinking things and you're thinking too much about what the other team is doing or what your teammates are doing, you're going to be off your own game. And maybe this is just me as a DPS player, but you definitely have to focus on your own mechanics first. The team stuff can come naturally. Everybody's talking, right? And the talking definitely comes more naturally when everybody is talking together. So I think the best way to really handle something like this is to go in and say, look, I'm going to play well. I'm going to aim well. I'm going to play in good spots and good positions, and I'm going to make good call outs to my teammates. And if you just focus on the basics like that, the core mechanics of Overwatch, if you will, you're going to have a good game.
It's going to be tough right now. This map, oh my word. It is one of the hardest maps when it comes to the first point contestant. If you can hold that choke point, the world will watch as you are Fort Knox is this first point. I don't know why for myself. I don't know if it's because I solo queue on comp and I don't have any team comp, but still, this point right now, it's going to be very, very difficult. What do you recommend? If you're going against this team right now, you're on offense, what is your comp that you want to run?
If I'm on offense, I want something with spam. So I want a Baptiste, right? Because Baptiste can charge that ultimate so quickly. He can charge the window, and then something like a Hanzo. So Hanzo just waits for that window to come up, and then once it's up, you just knock storm arrows, and you pretty much are guaranteed an insta-kill if you can surprise them with that window and just put it up in front of their tanks and then just go, oh my gosh, crazy cat going in though.
Right now, you asked for the Hanzo, a double headshot by Jesus right now, taking down both TPS. There is no way. You have got to be kidding me right now. Talk about an offense for these players right now. How many seconds was that? 5? 7? I don't even know right now, but they capped that point like it was no one's business, taking on the entire team. Jesus was able to get 2 picks off the bat and takes down Harvington. What is happening right now?
Oh my goodness. Just a shooting range for this guy right now.
I'm sorry, are we in a top 500 game right now? Because I'm witnessing greatness at this point in time. The defensive team, though, the game is just beginning right now. They have the window. They're popping it out right now. Yep right now. And Kip right now, taking down 3 players by themselves. That's your red team. Flipping switches right now when it came to the defense. They basically, honestly, just turn it all around right now. The only person on the car is Zarya, just waiting for them, saying hello.
Yeah, and it always sucks to be that person pushing cart, you know, and have to sit back while your team gets to have so much fun. But if you look at what Hizu just did to blue team there, I think he got 4 kills in that first, say, opening 30 seconds, which is just nuts considering they were almost all headshots.
I think he's a monster. That's what it is. He's just a monster.
Yeah.
Right now,
Absolutely.
95% on the ultimate. He can be on the pulse of the off right now. The hammer down. Stopping it right now. 47 health. Falling down. Light waves with a double kill as Ryan. That's what I'm talking about. And Cyclaris with a great juggernaut combo right now. Kip, double kill as Baptiste has another window already ready to go. The team is holding on by a thread so far. They have plenty of ultimates. It looks like the team that is on offense will not be able to push it just yet. Regroup, rearm for the next one. They have 4.5 minutes right now. Plenty of time. I have no idea what the answer is going to be for Hasty right now. Maze, 95%. He's doing a great job as well as Hanzo, making sure to try to, whittle down those shields. But with the Ryan Zarya combo, I mean, this is going to be an aggressive match through and through. Hanzo 1v1, the death match of all death matches right now.
Yeah, the Hanzo 1v1 is always a little bit difficult if you are the Hanzo player trying to play from the low ground like Jesus is there, especially with Secularis spamming him out.
He's doing a great job, though, of positioning right now. He has the Hanzo Dragons ready to go. The immortality has been thrown down. A great graviton search. Light is stuck in there. The dragons are just a hair off, though. Not able to get into the pace that they're hoping for. That is totally okay right now. There's still a beat drop by Nova. And Crazy Cat has the hammer down. About to pop it off, I believe so. Maybe holding back it up a little bit right now. Immortality's still here. The Mei walled him off. It's going to be tough for him to get out of position right now. The Zarya bubble has been thrown on. He is nanoed as well. Pop off that hammer down, baby. You can do it, I believe. Oh, and Lightwave has fallen. Crazy Cat as well. Both heavy tanks are down. There's no shield comp anywhere to be found. 3 minutes and capping the second point right now.
Yeah, and unsung hero of this match so far, I think, is Kip on that Baptiste. We saw Kip get several picks in the mid fights there, and importantly in that first fight, Kip actually, in the time that Hisu got those 4 kills, Kip actually got the Baptiste ultimate all the way up and used it. So Kip just absolutely going nuts on this Baptiste right now. Some real top tier play that we're seeing.
Both teams are playing out of their mind right now. It's just, like I said before, this map is one of those, when it's honestly a team deathmatch at this point in time. It's who's got more ults the next time. Lightwaves is spawn as well as Cyclaris. Can they keep it up? Reinhardt overextending. That's what I like to see right now. He's popping up the heals. Baptiste barely able to almost heal him, but not enough so far. Lucky also being followed up by the Baptiste. Baptiste popping off the DPS. He has all the heals. His teammates are just fine right now, so he doesn't need to worry about it too much. Kip already at another window right now. Crazy Cat still holding on to Shatter along with Nova. Both support ults. And at the same time, blue team's got double DPS and a hammer down.
Yeah, and
right now.
The ult economy is going to be so important here for red team. If they want to finish this push, they're going to have to use these super aggressively here and just make sure it ends. Oh, what a tire from Secularis.
Both teams are popping off the DPS ultimates. Jesus taking down Maze. It's a 1v1. Junkrat has fallen, and he is going to cap out the point. The team kill has been sounded. The announcer rang, and he has answered the call.
Yeah, and here I was thinking that I was going to curse it by saying if they want to cap it, and then of course, they would never cap it and get full held for 3 minutes. But Hisu had other ideas, as he just decided I'm going to launch this dragon through this excellent 3-man grab there from, I believe it was 3 on the Zarya, and just I don't know how Hisu could just be popping off that hard this whole map, but man,
It's
he
okay
did it.
though. It's okay because second round, you know what's happening? They're both going to be playing Reinhardt on both teams, and Reinhardt is going to pop off again. I love seeing it right now. You can see these players are playing out of their minds. I have to say, I mean, the first group was great, but this group is just absolutely crazy. They're absolutely crazy. They're not holding anything back. No punches are being thrown. If they have an ultimate, they're throwing it out. No one is holding on too long. I talked about that before. Ult utilization. These players, if they have the 99, as soon as they get it, they press Q or whatever button it is. I'm a controller player myself, but they just pop it up, and it just works. It just works.
Absolutely, it really does. And we do see that Orisa Sigma Bap Zen combo from the side of blue team. Maybe they weren't too happy about how that last round went for them, and they're going to go with something a little more meta, try to counter this excellent Rein Zarya here. As, oh man, we see these goats coming in, but in my opinion, it is cheating goats, as we see Kip out here on the Baptiste. That is not a classic goats hero. Shame on red team.
Shame.
But hey,
shame.
We are happy to see. I am happy to see a little bit of goats here. It'll be interesting to see how this this goats matchup goes, and which of these Reinhardts is really gonna slam down.
Who's gonna be the alpha Reinhardt? We're about to find out right now. Crazy Cat already at 3% on his ultimate. I mean, sure, it's passive, but still. D.Va hopping off the left-hand side right now. It seems that they're going to be a little bit overextended right now. Reinhardt needs to back it up. The immortality's already been thrown down. Like I said, they're not throwing any punches right now. The D.Va's in there. They have a Zarya against them, though, so this could be tough. Indeed, Lightwave has spawned. Crazy Cat with a great fire strike, but both shield takes are down. Zenyatta has fallen. I don't know who's going to win right now. It is no any man's game. Maze has spawned. Red team seems to be taking the lead right now. Great picks by 3 so far. Kill Switch did a great job maintaining with the D.Va right now. Out of the mech into meet and D.Va. Ryan Light Switch backing up back into that, respawn area, trying to get their health back, regroup, rearm. They're already at 71% on that shadow. This is going to be tough, like I said before. These players are doing such a great job of maintaining position. If they lost the fight, they back up, they regroup, they reorganize, and they're doing a great job. Nobody out here is messing up. No one's messing up here.
Yeah, and we
said, oh, the pin, though! Able to be stopped by the immortality right now. Overextension by so many. I don't know if he's gonna be able to pull it out. The fire strike is ready to go. If he's able to knock down Reinhardt, a great hammer down, but the grab to soon fall. A great counter by that Ryan and Zarya combo. The pin, 200 health. I don't know what's gonna happen right now. Lucky able to take the Reinhardt. Light waves, a great charge by himself right now. They have plenty of almost 3 down to the red team right now. Can they capitalize? I believe so. They are playing so aggressively. Jesus has fallen. And that is going to be a cap on the first point here today.
Yeah, and what I think was a huge turning point in that fight is that Harvington was able to get that beat drop about 20% before Yep. So using that beat drop, the red team really had no answer. It looks like they're going to try to recontest with the D.Va bomb with the pin!
The pin of a century! Oh my goodness, a great charge right there. They're able, when all hope was lost, able to pop off Maze with 95 energy has fallen. What did we just witness? I thought it was over. But they apparently have a different mindset. Oh,
and that's
my word.
The thing I love about GOATs is that, you can take these team fights so fast. You can just come in, blast in, and you get a team fight every 30, 40 seconds. And that's something you definitely can't get on any other composition.
Yeah, but can we talk about absolute skill right there? They're swapping double D.Va right now. The D.Va bomb has gone on. Can they answer the call? I believe so. Jesus has fallen. Kill Switch with a great D.Va bomb, capping out the point. A great D.Va bomb grab combo there.
Yeah,
incredible plays.
I do miss seeing that grab bomb combo. That was such a staple of early GOATs. Teams eventually started countering it with that Lucio beat, but we see Yep didn't really get it off there. Whether they were coming back from spawn, I didn't see, but just really good combo, really well executed there from Maze and Killswitch.
I mean, is it normal to be sweating watching a match right now? Because my hands are literally waterfalls at this point. This is just such great gameplay.
Wipe the palms off there, Bonsai. We got a lot more map to go.
I don't know if I can keep up with it. Honestly, I'm a little scared. My anxiety's at an all-time high. The hammer down somehow took down a Reinhardt. I thought he had the shields up, but apparently not right now. Gravitons are being thrown. Everybody is just going crazy right now. It looks like Rat is going to take home the bacon, though. Hanging on to so much of their plays right now. They are running ghosts. I didn't even realize until just now what is happening here.
Yeah, it is just a super intense battle. We saw Lucky originally come out on that Zen, but has had to swap onto that Baptiste in order to cap that first point. But we see them move over to the Moira now. So it's going to be some Moira goats here, which is all about sustain and all about very early doing a lot of early damage, looking to use that Moira heal to out-sustain their sort of less healing opponents. Although with Baptiste, are you really doing less healing since he just does so much healing and has that immortality field? I couldn't tell you. I don't know much about Baptiste goats.
He's alpha. That's all you have to know right now. With the Diva Bomb popping out right now and a Graviton. Reinhardt blocking the charge right now, but no shield to combo up with. A great pin. Counter pin by the other Reinhardt. Can they win it right now? They're down 2. Red team's up in this fight so far. Kip's already at 46%. Light Waves has fallen. They need to retreat off of this fight. 2 minutes on the clock so far. All the way pushed back in their spawn. They're good. The red team is not letting them go for it though. They are popping the Graviton a little bit aggressive right now. I'm about to say myself, the hammer down. What more can you do against this team? Let them go back to spawn.
Yeah, and what really started that fight off so well there was when Maze grabbed, right, from the side of blue team. We saw the defensive bomb come out from 3. 3 actually used the Diva Bomb defensively as opposed to using it offensively. So when the enemy team grabbed, he launched his Diva Bomb, and all of a sudden the blue team, who was trying to get aggressive and use Maze's grab to find kills, all of a sudden they're caught out of position now, and the Diva Bomb finds 2. A really smart play there from 3. That was a very common strategy in late Goats, that defensive bomb, so really cool to see that.
Yeah, you love to see it right now. They already have another Diva Bomb ready to go. I feel like, someone in the chat just said it perfectly, honestly. When it comes down to it, it's a Q war when it comes to this Ghost. Immortality is down. They have the Diva Bomb. Will they save it for aggressive? I believe so. The double fire strike. Both heals have fallen on Kip and Lucky. Can they give it right now? Red team down 2 healers. It's going to be tough. The Reinhardt ready to go, but Zarya Jesus taking down Light Wave, saying not today. That's my team. Brig is the last one left alive. She's way overextended right here, but there's no possible way for her to get out of that situation there.
Yeah, and we saw Crazy Cat with the double fire strike, but what really made that tick was Kip with that Baptiste window. If you're the Reinhardt, you're just waiting for that to come up, and you have that fire strike lined up in your brain. You're just waiting to see that Baptiste window, and you shoot it through the Baptiste window, and bam, it just kills whoever it touches.
It is very tough. Are we paused right now?
We are indeed paused right now. We're taking a little pause as Secularis has apparently disconnected from the game. Secularis was playing Brigitte for the side of the blue team. So definitely going to have to get a swap in here from the lobby, or maybe Secularis will be able to reconnect. We will see. Meantime, though, how awesome is it to see some Kings Row goats?
I mean, I guess this gives me a little bit of time to breathe right now, because this Kings Row Goats right now, I'm not even joking when I tell you I was standing half that match right there. It was incredible. Everyone is playing out of their minds. Everyone's just throwing ultimates left and right. And, when it said paused, I had to take a second or two because I was so used to just the onslaught that was that past match. I had to, kind of step back a little bit, wind down. You can hear my voice right now. I'm just worked up because there's just so many plays happening right now. These players, I mean, I don't know how the coaches are going to be able to, decipher through all this right now. Who are they going to find? Because everybody's playing incredibly well. So I don't even know what to tell you.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody's just looking pretty good on their roles. Hisu obviously is dominating, still on that Zarya. 3 has looked excellent on the Diva, and Kip has looked awesome on that Baptiste, both on the defense and on the attack. On the other side, Maze and Killswitch showing some really good work with that Diva Bomb Graviton Surge combo. The Rhine battle between Crazy Cat and Light Waves is going really well back and forth. We saw them both shatter each other on that first point, so that kind of tells you how even it's been. Though Crazy Cat does seem to be getting the better of these last few fights. It looks like we're going to be unpausing here. So we got Oh No Potato hopping in, who's just immediately...
Potato. Let's see if he's the answer to this team right now. Can he live up to it?
Does not seem like it right off the rip as Harvington goes down. Looks like it's just going to have to be a quick wipeout here.
I believe so. You would think after the pause, there's like a little bit of a break, but these players are jumping right back in, full sitting 100% right now, already down to overtime here. There's no possible way that blue team is able to capitalize on this. Red team is all up in that spawn, and that is going to be a great finish. Somehow, Lightwave still made it back to point right now, trying to contest it out, but like I said before, what are you supposed to do in that situation? Team 2, incredible win there. Incredible plays by all. I'm literally out of breath right now. That was a great matchup. Great plays. Ults were thrown. Babies were tossed. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, honestly, we had the GOATs. We got to see both teams go back and forth, use some really good old GOAT strategies, which I always love to see. It brings me back. I really did love scrimming on GOATs. As we see Jesus just popping off here, going to work, winning that last 1v1 after the play of the game ends there. And what I really liked from both teams is that they were down. They were absolutely ready to play GOATs. They came out, they used their chemistry, they used their communication skills to really make GOATs work, even though that's a comp that I guarantee they have not scrimmed on in months.
I just want to know, Hisu, if you're watching right now, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Because that was you were a monster on the Hanzo right now. Let me just say that the opening fight, literally, we had the point in 7 seconds. Like as soon as that, the doors open and they're like, "Hello, I'm on the red team," and that's my point. I mean, what more could you ask for? He literally got 2 DPS picks off the start, as well as a healer, and then a tank. Like that was just one after another, after another, after another. I mean, oh, it was so great. I loved it.
Yeah, me too. I'm a Hanzo main myself, so it's always nice to see a Hanzo just pop off. You know, some people might say, "Oh, Hanzo, you're shooting logs. Eventually, you're gonna get lucky and hit some headshots." But we see him that often. You see him just pop off right off the rip there. Nobody gets that lucky. When it comes down to that, it is just straight skill. It is Hisu going bonkers right off the rip. So I'm interested to see if any of these people will be staying in for the next game or if they'll be coming out. But I would absolutely love to see some more Kip, some more Hisu, some more 3, Kill Switch, Maze. Pretty much everybody who played in this game was excellent, but those ones were definitely putting in some work. And I'm sure that I will end up talking about them a little more as we go through this Winter Classic.
I'm with you. For this next matchup, do you want to see GOATs again or do you want to see 2-2-2, in your opinion?
Well, depends. Are we going to get to play any GOATs in the Winter Classic? Because I don't think we are, so I unfortunately have to say, if I'm a coach watching, I want to see more 2-2-2. I want to determine how these players play on the actual roles they're going to be playing for my team in the Winter Cup. But that being said, come on, it's GOATs. I love GOATs. So
as much as
I'm riding the fence.
Myself, I mean, the first round, that 2-2-2, well, you have to admit, it was a lot of fun to watch. It was a great time by all around. I mean, it's going to be tough, though. I mean, right now, Oh No Potato has filled in for the blue team. I mean, this could be the answer to the blue team right now. Watch Oh No Potato pop off here. Oh, never mind, he's gone. No!
I think they're getting teams arranged here for our next match with this lobby. I think we would still be following this lobby for the next match. With that being said, who would be? We haven't done this on any of our matches yet, but I feel like I should ask. If you had to pick an MVP for the last round, who would you pick?
I'd pick both Reinhardts.
Both Reinhardts.
Yep.
Somehow I knew. You were going to go with the Reinhardts. That would be Lightwaves and Crazy Cat, I believe.
Lightwaves and Crazy Cat popped off, dude. I mean, yes, there was some great plays by everybody else. I mean, everybody played incredibly well, but I mean, they played the shield. They took it upon themselves to be the one that knocks the door, who blocks the team, you know? And sometimes you just gotta thank the main tank, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I would actually agree with you. I was thinking about I think it was Crazy Cat there, or Crazy Cat. But if I'm going to go with somebody, I've been talking about the whole time, I'm going to go with Kip on that Baptiste. It's just so strong throughout that round. Always seemed to be in the right place. They used some of their immortalities a little bit early. Maybe that's just me being nitpicky. You definitely want to go with those later in the fight when they can stop the most people from dying. But just really cool play on the Baptiste. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of Kip in the Winter Classic.
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, I think my favorite moment out of that entire last fight was when the Diva Bomb was thrown out. And then Reinhardt's holding up a shield, and the other Reinhardt, I believe it was Lightwave, was, he pinned in, stopped that shield, so what they thought were safe, all of a sudden became a triple kill, and they were able to roll that team. So who knows what's going to happen next? I have no idea myself. I'm just waiting, watching, hoping, praying. to have some more fun on this next match.
That and that kind of stuff with that Rhine pin following the Diva Bomb, that stuff used to be the sort of like set plays you'd see run all the time in like Overwatch League and higher level plays. So I'm wondering if they were like, oh, I'll pin off this Diva Bomb. It's a super easy combo to hit, doesn't require more than one ultimate. Sometimes you see it with the Grav Diva Bomb combo. You try to pin the Rhine out of the Grav so that everybody does die to the Diva Bomb. Stuff like that is really cool to see. It makes me think back to, GOATs and that meta. And, it could be tough sometimes to watch in the Overwatch League, if you remember. It definitely didn't always work out the way viewers wanted it to, with seeing lots of flashy DPS play. But it was definitely the best team meta for Overwatch. You got to see the most set plays, the most, intense flanks, and, as a team. You remember that Surefour play, right, where he's standing in the spawn on King's Row. His team comes out on GOATs, and they go all the way around the back. And then Surefour is still standing in spawn on Brig, and then he switches onto Widow, and then all of a sudden just starts taking pot shots. So, there's stuff like that you definitely lose going on to the 2-2-2. Like we talked about earlier, and it makes me miss GOATs a little bit, seeing it played like that.
I'm so glad GOATs is dead now. I love Roll Q. That's what Overwatch is supposed to be, right? You're supposed to have 2 healers, 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and that's my opinion. I mean, I loved GOATs when I was running it, but it just becomes like we said before, an ult fest. So everyone's just throwing out their ultimates left and right, and it's so hard to follow. But at the same time, though, I'm one of those viewers watching the Overwatch League. I want to see that DPS pop off. I want to see that 5-man high noon. That's what I live for on Overwatch. So. That's just me. That's just me, of course.
And I will say, there's nothing worse than going into a comp game and your team's on 2-2-2 and the other team is on GOATs.
Oh, without a doubt, unless you have a Bastion.
Hey, if you got a Bastion, then you might be all right. Especially before shield nerf. Ooh, double shield Bastion before shield nerf was terrible.
Double shield Bastion, Mercy Pocket,
the Baptiste.
Orisa Bongos. I mean, you name it, it's happening.
That was a horrible comp. I remember, the team I was on, we would play Bastion on the attack here, and we'd teleport all around the map and have the Baptiste and the Orisa and everything. It was just, it's a little much. I definitely prefer the shield nerfs as they stand today. As we move here onto Hollywood. Hollywood first. Gonna have to see how this goes. Can always be interesting.
It can be. It all comes down to the first pick. If someone's gonna, try to get a little bit greedy with their ult charge on the first fight, and possibly, I don't see any Roadhogs, so I don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, all it takes is one fire strike and a tracer in your head to be deleted. So who knows what's gonna happen? You have to be very, very careful on this map. A lot of times people, they'll get that first initial pick, they get a little overexcited, they push in further than they should. And these corners, you can get flamed from so many different areas that people don't think of. And it's a very, very tough map. You have to be very aware of your team comp as well as your ultimate. So we'll see these players can make it happen going into game number 2 here.
I will say, it looks like Red Team is, again, cheating on their GOATs. This time they've added a Sigma to the mix instead of the Zarya. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Everybody knows Sigma, ridiculous tank, does more damage than Genji Blade. But, it'll be interesting to see how he fits into GOATs here.
It's very true. Right now, the Reinhardt charge has been sounded and was not able to connect so far. An anti-nade from the on. It's going to be massive. Reinhardt falling down right now. Blue team, Crazy Cat, getting all over that team. There's no possible way to get out of that fight. A great charge so far. Like I said before, he needs to be careful about getting greedy. He's in their spawn right now. Or he's going to first Shatter. He already has Shatter after the first fight. You ready for it? Watch. The world is waiting for this beautiful Shatter to pop off right now. The shield from Sigmod has been popped out. They don't see it.
They don't know.
They don't know what's going on. That's gonna be
a
massive Shatter. You love to see it.
The absolute meme team here on the side of blue. They got the Tracer GOATs coming out, swap out the Brig for a Tracer. But the important part is that they still have that Zarya. So they still have the ability to bubble their Rhine to get him into these insane positions in the center of Red Team. And then Rhine gets to survive because he's got a Zarya bubble.
It's tough. You have to be careful, though. How much faith do you have to have of your healers to be able to heal you enough that you are inside of their spawn right now? It is too much to ask for. Crazy Cat is getting all over here. The bubbles, the Ana nades. I mean, it's what you love to see. It is what you love to see. I'm interested in what right now. Red Team is so close to their spawn, though. What changes have they made, if any, to be able to counter this comp?
I think they need to come out on the Zarya and on the Brigitte. They got to switch to some more regular goats here if they want to really just put in any progress. As we see that grab bomb combo get nothing as that beat comes out and saves Killswitch.
Now Crazy Cat has fallen. Like I talked about before, getting a little bit over-aggressive right now, a little bit greedy with their kills here. It worked out for them the first time, but when you're that close to the spawn, it's not going to be a very good recipe for a victory. Right now, backing up right now, Oh No Potato. He has the hammer down. They're capping the point out right here. There's no possible way they should have been that far from the spawn. You know, you start doing well, you get a little cocky. I don't know what's going to happen, but that is going to be a turnaround right now.
Yeah, it is, and that's how fast these fights can turn around in GOATs, which is another one of the things I love. I know I sound like I'm just extolling the virtues of GOATs here, but the fights really can turn on a dime like that, where all of a sudden that one key pick comes through, and then the fight is completely different than it was less than a second ago.
Right, what was once, you know, an absolute spawn camp fest right there can now turn into a huge momentum for this first team right now. Oh No Potato holding on to his hammer down right now, as well as a Moira ult. Coalescence, you're going to see a lot of utilization right now. They can kind of get aggressive with that. I don't know what's going to be the plan so far. They're already down to 600. Reinhardt overextending just a little bit right now. The Zarya bubble's not going to be enough for him. Down to 320 health. The hammer down is ready. As soon as this Reinhardt has been nanoed, though, just like the fight's been turned around right now. Blue team already getting 4 picks. They said, you know what? We may have messed up before, but let's go ahead and turn that fight all around here.
And yeah, blue team, they seem to be right back on their spawn camping ways. We see, oh my gosh, Crazy Cat. He's got another one for us, it looks like. You see he's hiding all the way up top, but he's getting found out this time. That's unlucky.
I wonder if, but the Shatter to answer the call. He does not use it to get away, but instead pushes on to Sigmod, taking him out right now. Immortality has fallen. He has been taken down by Oh No Potato, but is that enough to stop what is happening to their team right now? Kip barely alive at this point in time, somehow managed to get away, but Ind, the Hanzo, has met his doom. We're going to find out what happens here. Already 2.5 minutes to get all the way to the second point right now. I don't know if it's going to be enough time. They have the Shatter once again. They're maintaining card position here. The Pharah up above, they have nothing to counter that right now. All they have is Baptiste and maybe a little bit of Moira. D.Va could dive on him, but at the same time, when you have a Pharah up above right now, 3 is a light bulb of charge right now, taking down Oh No Potato, pushing in right now. They have 25% on the grab. Both support ults here. Both supports have fallen now. It's only up to Moira, who used her Coalescence, was taken down early by Eulogy. So sad when you use your more, you know, you have your ultimate, you have your Coalescence, there's no blink that you have the opportunity to be able to pull out like you normally can. And especially when you pop off your ult like that, you want to see as much utilization. But if you take it out early like that, you hate to see it.
Yeah, and we see, here's something interesting. We have Eulogy on that Pharah who's putting in a lot of work, but there's no mercy with that Pharah. In fact, there's only one healer at all, and it's Nova who uses their nano on Crazy Cat there.
Right now, can you believe solo healing as an Ana on an entire team right now? I mean, at this point in time, you need to get at least a Lucy or something, but they managed to make it happen right now. Crazy Cat, who had the nano, pushing in right now, trying to get some sort of value. Crazy Cat is living up to his name right now, being actually crazy, up in their spawn, doing whatever he wants to do right now.
What a great D.Va play from Killswitch. We saw just before Killswitch switches off there onto the Reaper, then onto the ball, figuring some stuff out on red team. But Killswitch actually 8-3's Graviton Surge right there. Grav comes out before it hits the ground, the D-Matrix flashes on, and Killswitch eats it right up.
Looks like Crazy Man has swapped over to Reaper right now to kind of disrupt the GOAT's combo here to get all of those Death Blossoms off of the lifesteal. It's going to be crazy. He's on him right now. Down, but an anti-nade by, again, Nova has done such an imperative job right now with those healing by herself and popping off the antis. What more could you ask for of your healer?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it's your only healer. Although Nova going down there to Oh No Potato's Fire Strike, this could be trouble.
This could be trouble indeed right now. The Coalescence managing to keep their team alive right now. They have the upper hand in this fight. Reaper's out there. He wants to see as much utilization as possible. Pinned down, but the bubble was saving right now on Zarya. It's going to be tough right now. End has fallen. The Doomfist play. I don't know if that's going to be the call, but he can get there back there fast enough. Pharah is still up in the sky, raining down destruction. May is doing her best right now, trying to hit some sort of shot. I don't think it's going to happen, though, in time. Pharah is able to get so much damage out right now. Reaper, 42% on his ult. Not going to be enough time. And the Nano Rhine says, not today, Satan. Right now, as the blue team gets 4 picks so far, ending our round here, it's going to be very interesting to see what they change up to switch around on round number 2.
Really cool play there from Crazy Cat, Nova, and Eulogy, right? So Nova nanos the Reinhardt. Nanos Crazy Cat on the Reinhardt. Reinhardt goes in, not necessarily expecting to find any kills, but draws the attention of pretty much every player on red team. Eulogy then floats over the top ever so subtly and rains death from above. So just really great play from those 3 players there as they all just sort of put their resources together and turn it into something that just ended the round right then and there. Really impressive team play. I love using Ryan as the distraction there, and then Eulogy as the payoff. The nano boost from Nova, super important as well.
I'm one of those players, if I see a Pharah in the sky, I ask my DPS, I implore them, just do whatever it takes, get her out of the sky. And she was there for so long. It was almost like, what, 4 or 5 team fights that she was on Pharah?
Well, in GOATs, I remember one of the most difficult things, because in late GOATs, there's a lot of different comps. Pretty much every comp in the game was viable. It was one of the only times in Overwatch. And those last, maybe month of GOATs, last couple weeks of GOATs, every single comp was viable. 2-2-2, 3-2-1, 3-3, whatever comp you wanted to play. And when you had that Pharah and you were trying to run GOATs against it, Pharah could just stay up there the whole game and get a barrage what felt like every fight. And that's kind of what Eulogy was able to do there. Just float above the enemy team and rain that damage in while staying at a range where, red team couldn't really affect them.
What is happening right now with the blue team? They have 0 heals at the moment. I believe they're going for a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 man tank combo. Is this the answer to their prayers? What is this comp at this point in time? We're going to jump in right now. Let's see what happens. Reinhardt pinning around, trying to find Baptiste. Not able to do it. Crazy Cat just barely. Sigma jumping in. There's no heals, like I said before. Nova already down to half health, and 3 soon to follow. The Sombra getting so much utilization up top right now. Nobody's contesting her here, but somehow it's working. Blue already has 3 picks right now. Both healers have fallen. They're doing a great job focusing kill switch somewhere on the point right now. 34 health in a dream. Trying to hack the health back. I don't know if it's going to be enough or no. Crazy Cat down 105 health here. Eulogy and Dawn, one after another. 6-man tank combo. Somehow, some way, just worked.
I wouldn't call that anything but a bully composition. Their plan was to jump onto the point, one right after the other, these high HP targets with all this damage, all this knockback ability. When you look at Reinhardt, Winston, Ball, Sigma, just coming in, blasting everybody out of their way, saying this point is ours now. We're just going to sit here and take it. And that's what they did.
And they only have to get so far right now with 6-man Titan combo. I don't know if it's been enough against the Reaper that they have in Tracer, along with the Hanzo and Torbjörn somehow, some way. But it's happening right now. Sigma still battling out, doing so much damage, able to pepper it down on the squishy targets behind. No shield tank to back him up right now. Moira's the last one left alive here. Just a little bit of health, managed to blink away. She's keeping the mega health pack, but still by herself against the Sigma all alone. It's not going to be enough right now. 1 health in a dream. Spin Tech has fallen. Yeah, hate to see it. Graviton is building up, already at 80% right now. They're at the end of the fight here. Just barely 4.5 minutes still to go. Only a little bit of distance to have. I don't know if it's gonna be enough right now. Reaper, crazy. He's doing whatever he can right now to build up that ultimate for the final fight. 25%. The lifesteal is gonna be imperative for him. Right now, the Diva Bomb has been popped up, and that's gonna be, has fallen.
This could be trouble.
This is trouble right now, as the tanks are still pushing in right now. They're already down 4 players on the red team. They've only lost 1 on blue, 2 now. It could all be over 85% on the Graviton Flux here. More in the back, 1 health in a dream. Graviton has been popped off right now, and that is going to be a wrap for game number 2. Tracer can contest as much as she wants right now, but the game has been decided here, 95%, and that is something of a win.
Yeah, and hey, props to Spentech there. Almost was able to pull it out there on that Moira. I think had 2 or 3 picks in that last fight. Wasn't quite enough, as it just happened too late. The 6 tanks, man, that was awesome to see. You just see this enemy team just comes tearing in at you. Says, you know what, we're here now. And they just appear in front of you. 6 massive targets. And you're going to shoot at them? Shooting at them is not going to kill them. I don't know what you think you're doing.
I mean, you have to have absolute faith in your teammates to be able to get the picks on the healers right away.
Well, and they didn't even, I don't even know if they went for the healers right away. They went for, I think, one of the tanks that got caught out because, you don't expect 6 tanks to just come tearing at you. So maybe if you're Zarya, you're standing up a little far, trying to get some charge. Then all of a sudden, you're surrounded by the 6 enemy tanks, and they're just bullying you. And tanks in Overwatch do a lot of damage. When
Yeah,
you think about the
Winston for
highest,
the win, baby.
tanks are the highest, like some of the highest damage characters. When you look at Sigma, when you look at Roadhog, even when you look at someone like Diva with those micro missiles, she can win almost any 1v1 in the game as well. So if you're looking at tanks, they're so powerful. That 6 tank comp is just insane these days, especially once, factor in Sigma, you factor in Ball, all these characters that weren't in the game at release.
No, it's a good point that you brought up there right now. I don't know what's going to happen on these teams. Going to be, it seems like great game number 1, team number 1s. They, they followed the more traditional 2v2-2, and now group 2 at first was following the same way, but all of a sudden just kind of threw the comp to the wind and said, you know what, let's just go all out here.
They said it's time to meme, and meme they did. They played some really interesting comps, stuff that I would not have expected to see in this Winter Cup pugs. That being said, though, what do you got? No, you go. What do you got to say?
Mine was much less more important than yours. I was going to say, don't let your memes be dreams, but
I don't know. That's pretty important. I'll take that. I was going to say that if you're a coach watching this, you're either really happy that your players that you're looking at can flex so well onto all these tanks and supports and stuff, or you're like, I wanted to see them play DPS, so I know if I'm drafting good DPS or not. So it's definitely going to be an interesting draft, to say the least. We'll have to see where some of these players fall.
I mean, at least you know who you want to have as your tanks. So we'll see, though. Right now, let's find out if the minute's going to continue right in there at the end. 6 tanks versus 5 DPS and 1 healer. So I don't know at that point in time. Do you run the Reaper? Do you run the May? Do you run what is your comp to counter 6 tanks?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, but I think it's something of a 4 DPS dive, like we actually saw them switch onto. What you want to do when you have all those tanks that rely so much on their like one movement ability, like Reinhardt Charge or Monkey Jump, not super mobile characters unless you're talking about Diva and the Ball. Even they can't do that much damage, right? So you play all of these really mobile DPS. You play Tracer, you play Pharah, you play Sombra, you play Widowmaker. Play all these DPS, right, that can put in a lot of damage from range. Then you run a Mercy and a Ball with that. The Ball can swing around, jump in, maybe contest point, boop some people out of the way, get back out. The Mercy can just fly around from DPS to DPS or just follow the Ball around and keep everybody up. So that quad DPS was actually pretty popular for dealing with goats for a while as well, because you had that Pharah in the air that was basically untouchable, and then all of these other really annoying DPS that would just flit around the edges. You wouldn't really be able to touch them because GOATS was all about really just pushing in, taking the fight to the enemy team as fast as possible. And 6 tanks is basically the same thing. It just has less sustain and more maybe upfront HP, right? So I definitely think something that where you can play sort of spread out and you don't really have to give those tanks a big target to run into.
No, it's very true. I mean, at that point in time, if I'm playing in a quick play match and I have 6 tanks against me, I'm not gonna lie to you. My counter to that is gonna be backing out and hoping for another game. But you make a good point there. You make a good point. At that time, it's such a difficult comp to counter, and so these players at the same time, though, these coaches, as like you said before, these coaches that are looking for DPS, that are looking for healers, it's gonna be very difficult for these players to kind of showcase that ability when they're running a comp like this for tomorrow. I don't know if that's the answer. While it may be fun, we'll find out if they, change something up going forward. And they, what if you're a healer, right? And you're playing tank right now? How are you going to be able to show that your coaches tomorrow if you're running tank on a 6-man tank combo?
I think that the important thing, right, is not, and then I think that a lot of these coaches are looking at, because I think they're in the voice channels as well. So they're listening. If I'm a coach, the things I'm looking for aren't necessarily how you play like a certain character in a certain comp. More so, do you have, the basic mechanical skills? Like, are you getting rolled in these 1v1 situations that you sometimes find yourself in? Are you hitting your hooks when you need to? Are you hitting your bubbles right, your fire strikes, whatever, right? But I think more important than that, that's just like the baseline entry point. once you see that, you say, okay, is this player good on comms? Like, do they talk a lot or do they not talk a lot? Do they say important stuff or are they talking about random stuff? And I think the most important thing and the last thing you look for when you're looking for a player is, do they tilt? Because there is nothing worse than playing on a team with somebody who tilts. I have played on lots of teams, and I've played with people who do get tilted. Sometimes they get mad and they start yelling in the comms, when you start losing, or they'll go silent when you start losing. That stuff is never good, right? No matter what it is, no matter how good your team is, you're going to get behind sometimes. You're going to lose a fight because the enemy team runs at you with 6 ultimates. If you get tilted... it's just that kind of thing snowballs and you lose more fights.
Or you just feed into the toxicity and it becomes a screaming match where only one shot caller will rise from the ashes and he will lead you into great water. So we'll find out. I don't know. I mean, I've been on both sides of the coin. Of course, obviously not tilting is the great, it's a great point you bring up there. It's one of those things that's, a mental battle. When you are able, the first round we saw with AC9, going into that next match, on defense after they lost the offense because of that. I mean, how much energy do you have on that defense when you could have won that offense?
Yeah, exactly. It becomes sort of like oh my gosh, do I have to go do this all over again? Now we have to go defend this super short point. Like, there's no way we can do this. And if you think like that, then, it's probably going to go that way. Because surprisingly enough, Overwatch, despite it being, a video game, and people don't think of, video games, they think about it like pointing and clicking or, people with super good reflexes, stuff like that. You don't think about it as much as you do like with like basketball or football or something where they, talk all the time about the mental game and about how important it is for players to have a good mindset and for players to, keep their head about them in the game, being able to think through situations. Overwatch is very much like that in terms of esports, It's not like CSGO, where CSGO is a lot of like memorizing angles and really fast flicks. Overwatch is all about outthinking your opponents and playing in like, better positions than they are. So yeah, when you're talking about the mental game, that's what it's all about in Overwatch.
It's tough. Right now we can see these players right now triple snipes. They have them in Korea. I gotta call them a sniper here, but that's close enough here. They have it's we talked about we wanted to see something changed up, and I believe they're answering our call right now. Kip on pharmacy with our Enderman. We'll find out if they're able to capitalize on it so far. It's environmental kills. It's gonna be tough. You cannot even peek. They have no shields against the double sniper comp. What do you want going against that? It's gonna be tough indeed. The pharmacy ready to go here, looking for any sort of target mobility. Hamster ball behind them. Find a little bit of damage right now. Already 8% off of one charge shot. It's going to be great for him so far here. And it's going to be gone, taking out crazy. It's going to be blue team that I thought was going to win here, but red team answers the call, taking down both Genji and Tracer. But Soldier manages to pull off a pharmacy and Hanzo with Ball killing himself right now. I don't know what happened there, but it somehow worked and somehow made a play. They're not pushing the cart right now. They're still defending Kip here. Damage buff, trying to find any sort of headshot. If you can find even a body shot on some of these squishy characters, that will be a one-hit wonder. That is Widowmaker.
Yeah, and it's so much of this, so many of these DPS characters, it's all about the 1v1s. So these fights can turn so fast. They can go one way or the other, just based solely on like, one Widow headshot. Or right there, you see Eulogy getting the pick on Spentek. Then Yep comes back with the one on Maze. They go back and forth so fast, you can't keep up.
Roadhog is one of the best characters on this map, I feel like, because of the environmental, because of the contestability, because of all things that are Roadhog. And like, as I said, he goes down right now. The Hanzo Dragons have been popped. It's going to be a fantastic matchup so far. Eulogy taking on Tracer here. They're up in this fight. 2 players down, 3 players now. They pulled out the hammer. Don't let your memes be dreams. Can he make it happen? And he does. Into Muon, taking down Genji with the hammer. The memes have not become dreams. Fear not, my children. Pushing out right now. 2 minutes, and they're already capping off this point. It's a weird comp, the Torbjorn, the hamster, the Hanzo, but it's somehow working right now. I believe he's pulling out, his hammer for the full time right now. Tracer trying to contest a 1v1 on the DPS here.
Yeah, if I'm gone, I hope nobody screenshotted that in the kill feed, or else I probably end up seeing it in Discord. Later tonight.
But a great, I want to point out real fast here that the Mercy did a great job. Kip right there decided that he was going to go down. He popped off his ultimate. Most people would say, why would you pop your ult when you can't heal? But at the same time, being able to survive that fight for so long there was a great matchup indeed, using his ultimate there.
Eulogy gets pressed by the Mei there, 3 after using their ultimate. but 3 absolutely gets the lesser end of that duel. Eulogy just taking them down. Really looking good on that Hanzo. We saw them looking good on the Pharah in the last round. Oh my God, not again.
Still popping off
again.
with the hammer. Who needs a gun when you have a hammer right now? Apparently, the Dragons are going to be the final contestant to be able to capture that point here. It looks like 2 meters to go. Hopping on right now. Moira able to get away. Gone. A great dash from Eulogy. It's going to be a tough fight indeed. Right now, gone. 2 kills so far. 3 players down on the red team. I believe they'll be able to cap us out if they are able to. It's not seeming happening right now.
And it looks like Blue is really able to stabilize there based on some really good picks from the DPS and from Yep there on the Roadhog, taking care of that ball, making sure that he couldn't get free reign on that point. We see now Crazy Man onto that Reinhardt that we saw so much of earlier from all the teams we saw playing. And it'll be interesting to see if this Rein helps at all against this Soldier and the Roadhog hook, all this stuff that kind of relies on having an open lane to your target.
A great bomb by Hisu, not able to be followed up right now. He's a great DPS here. The Torbjorn ultimate has been popped. 14 health on him here. Soldier has Visor, popping it off right now, trying to be getting any contestability, but not happening so far. They were able to stun him out and take him down once again. Genji taking down the Tracer, but falls to the Ana shot from afar right now. Kip doing a great job of keeping his team alive, as well as maintaining balance on the DPS here. Reinhardt trying to get anything, eliminating 3 right now. I believe it's the final fight of the point here. Lucio doing whatever he can, but falls too short, too late. Right now, Kevin on the first point, on number 2 so far. I love the Rein. The Rein, I think, is what is the answer to this comp so far. Sometimes you just got to hold down the click and start swinging your hammer.
Yeah, Rein does so much damage at such a close range. In that last little area when the point needs to go like such a short distance, when you get that Rein in there, just have him start swinging, maybe Doom punches around, throw in the Torb turret for some extra range damage, and, you know, it's really tough to withstand all that.
No, it really is. At the same time, you also have Torbjorn here, so maybe they're hammer down squad right now. Backing it on up, a great job. He's an anode. He needs to get in there somehow to get some damage, but not enough of his shield is remaining to get any utilization right now. 90% on his hammer down. Can they keep it up right now? Killswitch taking down Ana as well as Hisu. With both healers down, will the red team be able to hold it off right now? A great job so far by the Moira on Spintech. Spintech is making sure to maintain all points of interest. Has plenty of heals. Doing a great job of balancing both the DPS that you know you need to have as Moira for healing and heals at the same time.
Yeah, Spentech has looked really good these last 2 games on that Moira. Definitely a person who's, I would say, is very comfortable on that hero. Look like they've played a lot of it. Definitely a solid player to have anchoring your backline there.
No, it's very true right now. You can see these players. They're just, you know, trying to make sure they are able to pull it off. Red team right now has 4 ultimates, 4 massive ultimates. Torbjorn popping it right now, trying to maintain any posture. Able to kind of wall off their team with the Torbjorn ultimate. You can, you know, decide where the fight's going to happen at and posture it from there.
100%. And we see Endymion just going off on this Torb still. He's finding the picks on what is, I would say, a pretty underutilized DPS in this meta, if you will.
And Baptiste, right now, Nova, I want to point out right here fast here, doing a great job of keeping the team alive, making sure everybody has, you know, plenty. He's doing more heals than he's doing damage, which I appreciate. A lot of Baptistes, you know, just because you have a gun doesn't mean you should always use it here. He's taking down Maze right now. The shield has been popped, but not enough here. Yep, taking down Eulogy. Reinhardt battling it out on point right now against Roadhog. Only 36 health left. Not enough to be safe right now. Killswitch, the Junkrat, has just so much damage, especially with the Supercharger right now. Able to get 3 picks off the bat, resetting the fight. 18 seconds left in this final contestment. I don't think there's enough time to even get there in time.
Yeah, they're going to be very hard pressed. See Endymion swapping onto the ball. Lucio is going to go for maybe a touch here as well. Crazy Man looks like they might get there, but it's super tight here. It's going to be hard spinning around like that.
Doing a great job. 3 with 2 picks right now. It may be what they needed so far here today. Right now, already 3 picks right now, 4 picks, and that is going to be round number 1 complete. I love it. I saw a lot more utilization of ults there. You know, the players complement each other very well. The healers. I don't know how they were able to keep their team alive half the time. I saw criticals popping off left and right, and they maintained posture. They stayed calm and let me know that everything was going to be okay.
Yeah, and when you have like that Torbjorn, for example, from Endymion, if you're the healers on the side of blue team, you have so much to keep track of because that Torb turret is always shooting. it is always putting in damage. It doesn't have to reload. It doesn't have to stop.
Aimbot.
And if it has an
It's all
LOS, if it has an LOS, it's going to be hitting somebody, which means you have to be healing somebody. So it definitely relies. It forces you, as a team to rely on your healers, to rely on them making sure they're prioritizing the right targets, playing in good positions so that they're not getting hit by it. And, especially when you're not running a shield or when you're running an Orisa shield, which is basically not a shield anymore with how little HP it has, it's really tough. It can be really tough. And the healers did a very admirable job under all the pressure there.
No, great point indeed right now. These players already popping off here. We can see that they have running a Genji, Mercy, Pharah, Sombra on a Sigma combo. What in the world is happening? But hey, they can make it work because I've seen worse happen. Here.
Yeah, triple DPS around a Sigma is actually a pretty good play, in my opinion. Sigma does so much damage on his own and has some abilities to self-sustain. If you really think about it, he has the 1v1 potential with that rock. He has his suck that makes, any damage coming in count for his own shields. Could be pretty deadly in this triple DPS comp.
That is very true. As long as you utilize kind of making sure you don't leave your shield like a sail in the wind right there, they'll be just fine right there. From the pharmacy on the back right now on the Ana. Ana is already in danger. Nova barely able to escape right now. He's 2 at 59 health here. Can they keep it up right now? Great shots. The Orisa is one of the hardest players to play against the Pharah right now because she's able to kind of group up behind that shield and get plenty of ult opportunity. Already at 50% right now. Going forward here. A great job by the pharmacy so far. Doing a good job of kind of keeping distance, making sure pick and choose your battle so far. Damage buffed already. I keep talking about it, but there's just so much happening here by this pharmacy combo. That's 3 picks. That's 4. This could be a team wipe right now. Look for the 6th player. It's the Tracer. Last but not least, that will be Maze falling down and almost team kill at that point in time.
Yeah, 100%, just too much damage from the side of blue team onto the red team. Red team running that double shield with the Baptiste. They're equipped to deal with some spam, but I don't think they had the mobility to really escape the Pharah, to really stop the Tracer and Genji from flanking and getting whatever they wanted. Although Crazy Man does put a stop to the Genji there, that's for sure.
He has the barrage ready. He just needs to take the Hanzo, and he has a great opportunity on triple kill, quadruple kill, fallen down by Nova. But what are you supposed to do when you have a quadruple kill? You press that advantage versus you already resting. So that one final pick on the pharmacy has been negated by what is one of the greatest abilities in the game, the resurrection every 30 seconds.
Yeah, mid-fight res, still, in my opinion, one of the most ridiculous abilities in the game. It just negates all the work that, the enemy team is doing to try to get that super important kill that might, change the fight completely. And then all of a sudden it's like, the fight's back to where it was before we got the kill.
A very good solid point right now. She's able to use the rooftops right now to get a great position, trying to get the spinach to look up right now. Combo up. The pharmacy is ready to go once again here. Hisu has fallen by Hanzo. Right now, 74% on his dragons right now. A double play by Gon. Taken down by Hanzo. It's already down to the final fight right now with 4 minutes still left on the clock. How are they going to be able to hold it off against this team here? 3 on Sigma, maintaining posture. He's up against a Winston who does, Sigma does extra damage against shield, so that's a great combo to be fighting against here, especially when you have a Pocket Mercy on your side.
Yeah, 100%. And we do see Red Team able to stabilize there. Excellent play from Eulogy. He does find another one. He's looked really good on that Hanzo every time we've seen him on it this map. He found the shot on Gone on the Genji blade. That is not an easy shot to hit with how vertical Genji can get and how quickly he can move. So if you're a Hanzo player, you can hit that. That's super valuable to your team.
It's very true. Very good point right now. 38%. Pharah has fallen. They're traded off DPS right now. Which one is being more utilized here? 3 taking down Ana. This is the final fight. Like I said, all ults must be used. Hans on the backline. Tracer's on him. A headshot with a Baptiste window right there. A great combo indeed. Pharah is still trying to find any sort of opportunity, but backing up a great point in time here to reset, rearm. 75% on that ultimate there.
Yeah, the ultimate, like you talk about, that far ult is going to come up really fast. And if you're red team, you have to be ready for that. You have to have that Baptiste lamp saved up so that your Anik has time to get the sleep or that your Hanzo has time to get the headshot onto Kill Switch. Because if Kill Switch is allowed to just hit a barrage for free, like we saw him do in the previous point, this game is going to be over real fast.
Right, Kill Switch honestly has not been contested too hard right now. They have a Doom Fist against him, which I would rather go for a hit scan, but right now, 55 health here. Tracer has fallen along with 3 on Orisa here. Can Eulogy keep it up right now? The barrage already taking on Nova, but Kip, like you said before, was ready for that barrage. He knew it was coming. Right now, Eulogy popping out the dragon, separating the team right now. Doomfist is overextended here. Maintaining posture. Keeping a calm demeanor all around, taking this back line. A great job so far. Orisa has fallen once again. There's nothing they can do. They need to reset this fight. Mercy, maybe fly to Tracer at this point in time. I don't quite know. Isu trying to escape somehow and manages to get away just in time there.
Yeah, and that's super important. We're getting down to the 2-minute point, so fights now need to be quick, and you need to not get staggered because you're down to maybe 3 fights left, 4 fights left.
If you're lucky,
blue.
if you're lucky, 3 fights.
Right, and now it's time to start getting a little bit nervous, a little hot under the collar, if you will, because all of a sudden now it's you who has to be aggressive here. Red team's not on the back foot anymore. They've won 3 fights in a row. They're stabilized, so they're feeling good about this defense.
Oh, and the blade has been popped up. Nova and Kip have fallen along with a triple kill. That is going to be 4 players down. This is exactly what they needed to win this fight. Winston, who was able to contest for so long before, a great team kill. That Genji blade, talk about a clutch moment, especially when they needed it. Red team already back in the fight, though. They need to get on that card, contesting 4 meters to go right now. Orisa's already at 75% on her bongos. She might be able to pull it off in time here. It's DPS versus DPS. Tracer versus Doomfist. And Tracer has fallen. Gone, doing a great job so far. Taking down 2 players here. Red team has fallen once again, and that is going to be a wrap for an incredible win on Team 1 here.
Yeah, and I've talked about Spentech a couple times. We saw them on that Mercy there. Came in, found the kill on the Ana before that last fight even started. So it was a 5v6 at the very beginning of the fight. Crazy to see some really good Mercy DPSing plays, but sometimes that's what it takes.
Right, exactly. Right now, Kill Switch, he was on the fair beforehand. He was doing so much work as well as Soldier, so he can do hit scan, he can do fairies, a man of many talents out here. Hisu on Hanzo before, a great matchup indeed. All those players doing a great job there. I don't know what they could have done. They played so well. 3 team fights in a row on defense that they were able to capitalize on. But again, Red team just could not secure the win when it came to it on the 4th fight there with the Genji blade popping out the quadruple kill.
Yeah, 100%. Genji came in with that blade. Such a good ultimate if you know how to use it. If you're able to get around and just put in the damage on the squishy targets. We saw them take out the Baptiste and the Ana, 2 of, the most important characters on the field there for the defense. And after that, it was pretty much just cleanup for the side of the attack.
Exactly. Great point there.
So I think we have one more map, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're going to have one more map, and we may have roll lock on for it, if I'm reading the chat.
Yes,
correctly.
I love to see it.
With that being said, going into our last map, who really wowed you in the last one, Bonza?
I mean, at the end of the day, it was Kill Switch. Kill Switch did such a great job on the fair, uncontested for so long, and that might have been the reason that kind of drew my eye to him, because he was uncontested for all of that time. But he capitalized, he played his corners. The pharmacy combo with his healers did a great job as well. Spin tech as well. I mean, the blue team has such a stacked lobby right now. Kill Switch, you had Hisu on Hanzo before. You have, Spin tech keeping all this teams alive, gone with so many crucial picks there. But at the same time, Red team did just as good of a job there.
Yeah, and my MVP from that, well, maybe not MVP, because I might go with Kill Switcher, potentially Spentech or 3 as well. I'm going to go with Eulogy, because Eulogy played a very good game. Call me a Hanzo player, call me biased, but Eulogy on that Hanzo looked so solid. I know I talked about it several times, but they were very focused on the right targets. They were putting in a lot of damage. They were finding picks when it mattered. Found a few important stagger picks too, which are so important for a prolonged defense. That point in time on that 2nd point defense where they were able to stabilize. A lot of those early fight wins came from Eulogy just finding the picks early on. Or like we saw shutting down the Genji blade when that one point in time when it did come out, it seemed like it was going to get a lot of kills. It only ended up finding 1 or 2 and before Eulogy was able to put the storm arrows into them. So you really like to see the DPS doing their jobs, getting the kills, putting the damage in on the right targets. It's awesome to see. And with that being said, We've talked a lot about the tanks today. We've talked a lot about supports today. We've really seen some awesome DPS players today as well.
We definitely have. I mean, every single time I think to DPS right now, I think back to Hisu on that original 3 headshot in a row. Also a tank on the 4th kill on the initial push on the offense. Was it Kingstar, I believe? It was just such a great play on his part. I just loved seeing it. Like, that is what sticks out to me out of all the plays today. That was the play that sealed the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. For me as well, that was just really impressive to see, just coming out when we hadn't necessarily seen anybody wow us yet with, huge DPS plays or a huge bomb or shatter or anything like that. And Hisu just comes out of spawn with that. And, part of it was Crazy Cat charging into the enemy team and sending them flying everywhere so that Hisu could find them and shoot them. Or Kip, putting in an insane amount of damage himself on that Baptiste. But props to the guy who hit the shots. Hisu popping off.
I don't know why my Hanzo doesn't do that. Whenever I try Hanzo, I miss all my shots. And I even have aim assist on my Xbox. I still miss it. It's a sad day indeed. It's a sad day indeed.
Well, Hanzo is definitely, there's a bit of a learning curve. Not many people think about why Hanzo might be hard, especially if they're used to playing hit scan heroes. Then all of a sudden you go and play Hanzo who, shoots these projectiles. And, in the next patch, Blizzard's actually going to be slowing down the projectile speed, so they'll shoot even slower now going forward, which really wasn't the problem with Hanzo that made him so overpowered. But, what Blizzard sees is what Blizzard will do, I guess.
Thanks, Jeff Kaplan.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. You should probably teach his devs to play some Overwatch before they try to develop it. Am I right? But the main thing with Hanzo, I think that makes him such a powerful character is that one-shot ability combined with all the spam damage. Like a character like Widowmaker has one-shot ability, obviously, but she can't spam down shields the way Hanzo can. So, he's so versatile as a sniper and as a spam character.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, at the end of the day, what is going to be the right pick for the right time? And you have to think to yourself, these guys have done a great job of switching off. I haven't seen anybody today that has been, a little bit too aggressive on one character. They've done a great job of flexing around. They've done a great job of, kind of playing to their strengths there. So I love what they've done. No one has been a problem character at all either.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't see any characters in here. Maybe the Pharah, we saw a lot of Pharah play today, dominate, and that was really cool. We got to see Kill Switch, especially on that Pharah, just kind of get whatever they wanted on that last Rialto map. And that came more from people not countering the Pharah as much as it was the, the Pharah being OP or something like that.
No, without a doubt.
And I think a lot of it, too, came from, everybody's memeing a little bit. Everybody's having a little bit of fun. These are pugs. These are community pugs. So at the end of the day, you're not going to come in here and see the strats you might see in your scrims, but you'll definitely see players playing well. There were definitely moments of try hard that we got to see, especially in our earlier games today. I feel like as time went on, people maybe got a little more loose and got to play, whatever they wanted and screw around a little bit more as they took the roll lock off and stuff like that. But it was a pretty cool day of games.
No, it's been a lot of fun. I've had the privilege of, cast alongside and watching these players. The story today, we always talk about stories whenever we're casting, and the story today has been one that has constantly evolved. It's changed. We've seen people rise and fall. We've seen great plays. We've seen, overextension. So it's been a lot of fun watching these players kind of unfold in the short amount of time that we've had with them to kind of, see where they will go in the future, who these team captains are going to be able to pick, and what is going to be the plays for the next coming days.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is our last game of the evening, if I'm reading this correctly. So I want to say that we will be moving forward into the draft in just a little while. I'm not sure the exact logistics of that and if we're going to have that on stream for you or not. I'll wait to hear back on that. But I will be excited to see how the draft plays out and see what teams we're really going to be working with here for the upcoming tournament.
It's going to be a toss-up where, honestly, everybody played out of their minds today. I did not see anybody that I wouldn't pick myself as a coach. So that's where I'll let the professionals do their job. I'll do my talking over there while they do all the hard work of actually, analytical deciding who's going to be the player of the day. If you had to pick one player, who would it be?
Off the top of my head, I think it would be Kip. I know I talked a lot about Kip earlier on that Baptiste. I think a good Baptiste player, especially in this meta, really makes or breaks your team. I've played on a team with a really good Baptiste player, and I've watched teams play that don't have a very good Baptiste player. And when you do have that good Bap, when you got him in your back line, always ready with that immortality field, knows how to play corners properly, farms window really fast for you when you're playing DPS. It just makes everything that your team does a lot easier, and you can get you out of some really sticky situations that the rest of your team messes up. So I got to go with who I thought was the best Baptiste today, and that was Kip.
I got you. Okay, you can have Kip. I got everybody else. So it's going to be 1v47.
2. Come on, I'm playing with Kip here.
Oh, it's true. Okay, you and Kip can play together. I got everybody else. I get all the Ryans, all the Winstons, and all the heals. It'll be fantastic. I'll watch that match.
Yeah, I'd be happy to play in that. Give me like 500% health or something like that, and then we'll go.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just do that. I'll have no ultimates on my team here, and we'll all play supports.
That's great.
It'll be fantastic. Yeah. So
Okay.
Let's find out real fast. I think we are going to. Let's see. I don't have any. Let's. All right. Yeah.
Looks like
So I believe we're actually going to be wrapping up here. Is there anything you want to say?
I just want to say thank you to Fractured Esports for putting on such a great event. You know, Overwatch, it's a cool game. It's been out for a while, and it's in an interesting state right now with its esports and stuff. People leaving the game, stuff like that. But this is a great community. Everybody loves Overwatch here, or at least I think they do. Everybody has a really good time playing Overwatch, and it's really important to have these kind of amateur scenes where everybody can have a good time and get better at the game together.
No, I cannot agree with you more. It was such an opportunity, and thanks for casting alongside of me. Thank you to all the viewers who are watching right now. I believe we're going to be wrapping it up as we finish up these closing remarks here. So thank you again, Fractured Esports, for hosting this amazing Winter Royale Cup today. It's going to be tomorrow and Friday for the finals. So if you guys are liking what you see here today, stick around. We'll have plenty more action on the way.
Turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. Run underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Just silent bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Just silent bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild, 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 wild. No one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite. Can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild.